Hey everybody, this is Tuesday night at Session Prep, and I am here with Bijo today, aka Silent Ranger, aka whatever other names you want to give out.
Yeah, mostly Silent Ranger, most everywhere.
Yeah, nice to have you here. You've been on, we did audio at least once. That was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, again, thanks for coming. And you've been dumping a bunch of ideas into this campaign, despite running two of your own and playing into two of your
I
own.
just prep ahead. I usually have my own campaigns. I just prep quite a bit ahead, so I'm a good month ahead of both of the campaigns, and so I'm pretty safe on that part.
I hope to one day be in that boat. I'm a little bit ahead, but I always find myself playing catch up when the players make decisions that
Oh
surprise me.
yeah, exactly. You never can plan on the players to do what they're supposed to do. They're always going to pull a strange one, like your mayor situation.
Well, that was fun. So again, I went over it again in the last session. So TLDR for those of people who didn't watch last prep session, my players came to this town, and I had planned for them to talk to the mayor either by kidnapping her or finessing her later on in the episode of the session, where basically she was going to be something of a begrudging ally. Like she would surrender the town, and she would remain there as kind of like the liaison between them and the rest of the elves there. And above all, she wanted to protect her people. She wanted to keep peace during this occupation, because obviously, these goblins, or they thought they were fae, were occupying their town. There's potential for violence. They've killed a bunch of people, and above all, she wanted to protect everybody. But one of the things that was odd about her and about the elves in general, they're elf supremacists in the game. They believe that the elves are better than all the other people in the world. So when they saw the goblins deferring to a human commander, they got a little uppity, and especially the mayor started shouting, and squirrels started ignoring her, which kind of infuriated her. So we role played through that scene, and mostly she was ignored and then rebuked a bunch of times until Squirrel stood up and said, "No, this is how it's going to be." He stood up for humans in the world. He said, "No, we don't believe in that. He's my commander, and we're transferring control of the town to him." And the mayor was just livid. And she tried to bark out some more stuff, and she tried to step out of the gazebo where they had sequestered all the elves, and even kind of scared her back in. And eventually Franco walked her out of town, walked her all the way down to the bottom, and let her go. So they exiled her, and then they came back to town, and Squirrel said, "Anybody who feels the same way can follow." And like half the town followed, like 60 elves I ruled, or whatever I said, followed her. So now I was expecting them to just be occupying this town and to have it be like this odd situation where they're working through the mayor, and they kicked the mayor out. They kicked out half the town. So now I had this whole thing planned. I'm not going to go over to everything I had planned, but basically there was going to be this guerrilla warfare going on. There's going to be, this threat to them, and these, they're members of their part, not their party, but the members of their troop are dying to these guerrillas, and they were going to have to deal with all that and head out. And I was basically going to just move on from there until I get to the whole next session, basically the whole next chapter. But now that they've kicked out the mayor and half the town, I feel like I have to make that meaningful, and that was kind of the whole question in my last prep session was, what the hell do I do with the mayor, and how do I reward the players or enhance the story due to what the players did. And I took like the easy way out. And if you watch the last one, where basically I said they can be present at these elven ruins I had over here, I could say that the mayor and all of the civilians that followed there are kind of eking out an existence here in these ruins, and maybe they're preparing for some sort of attack. Maybe they're meeting with the guerrilla leader here, and they're like making sharpened spears and stuff, but they're very visibly not trained fighters. They're not an army. They're just preparing for something, they don't know what. And Bijo has ideas about
The
this.
idea I have for you. I do. Um, to the temple. Let's pull up your temple map. We'll go from there.
Okay, we're going backwards. We're starting. Okay.
Yeah. We're the temple's where I want you to put the mayor. Actually.
Okay. Okay. I like. Okay.
Outside the temple. I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay. I don't have a map for that, but go on. I'm listening.
Okay, but here's what we'll do. You have them set up as like a tent camp. This is where, if they're not in the city, the next safest place you can think of would, well, maybe they go to outside the one and only other temple around that seems safe. This is somewhere they
Mm-hmm.
can go that's safe.
All right.
So they're setting up tents. It's not a very luxurious place, but you figure 20 to 25 tents for the 60 people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be out there. And then what you can do is when your gorilla is running away from after they do the chase, he runs through their tents, and the mayor is the first one that steps in front of him. Think like Tiananmen Square style. She has no chance to stop him.
He's Tank Man.
She's gonna step it. Yeah, she's gonna get in front of him. It's like no, they've already heard about your atrocities. You'll find no friends here.
Mm-hmm.
To prep them inside, to get them a little jumpy. It's like they've heard of the terrible things you have done, and I see now you're going after the wood elves too. Is there no end to your whatever you want to call it? No end to what you are doing to the people. And
Mm-hmm.
so I figured just the tents out there, and then so as she's talking and standing in front of them, um, somebody throw a rock, probably not hit, but somebody takes chucks a rock at him and everything. And she says, "No, no, don't attack them. They're just looking for an excuse to kill us. Don't give them the excuse." So set them on the edge. So they're not going to try to take out the mayor. Maybe they will take out the mayor anyways, because she's going to be an insufferable person
Mm-hmm.
standing out there. Just every time he steps forward, she just gets in the way again and says, "No, you're not going there. This is not. You've already destroyed one of our. You've already taken over one area. You're not taking this too."
Mm-hmm.
And so she can just be non-combatant, but completely annoying to them and everything. And eventually, they're going to just have to basically push their way past her. They're just going to have to go in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so at least at that point, they know that the priestess has heard about him. They said you're not going to find any friends here, so when they go in there, they're going to immediately assume that she's not going to be friendly towards them, which she probably won't be. Especially if they come in swinging and taking out the front doors, the guys in the front door,
Yeah.
or dripping blades after they hit the mayor and a few of the townspeople to get by too. Who knows what they're going to be doing? But if they either way, they're coming in, so those they come swinging into the front door and their blood, dripping blades with blood all over it,
Mm-hmm.
or where they, push past them, they come inside and they run into more issues. But either way, the priestess can be the same exact thing. She can be super haughty. It's like, "Oh, I've heard of your terrible deeds.
Mm-hmm.
May the gods look down upon you for your terrible things you have done to our people." It's a bit of a premise and everything. And then when she says, her whole speech about giving sanctuary, and then, tell them that they can't come in, but they're gonna
They're definitely coming in. I
they're going
assume.
in. But then with Homeboy taking pop shots at him up in the rafters up there, it gives him some time. And if you need some healing on him, and also if you take a couple shots in the back, at least if he's up there and he's taking pop shots and everything, and she won't say anything about that. Obviously, she's one of them, or he's one of them.
I figure
It's
there's gonna be some degree of decorum during the chat. Like he's not just gonna start railing on him during the speech. There's definitely gonna be some maybe he'll be hidden, maybe he won't even be visible up there for a while, and then they come in and she's admonishing them for breaking in here. Yeah, and then he's up there doing his thing eventually.
And so now they've already, they're known to this priestess at that point and everything. That they've taken over the other temple and held the people hostage and all the things they've heard about. So their reputation will have preceded them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was thinking, just if you just have the mayor and everything outside the temple instead of just in a random, one of the ruins, which is part of your chase scene, right?
Well, the ruins were the beginning of the chasing. Basically, my idea originally was that the guerrilla leader would be stationed there, or like making a camp there or something. And then I figured I could change that up a bit. I could make it that he's meeting the mayor there. Like that's not where he lives or anything, but he was going to meet them there because it's old ruins. It's there's some sort of structures there that the people knew and kind of fell back to.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm thinking now about what you're saying. So my concern with that is I don't want if there's 60 elves outside, and I'm afraid they won't want to come into the temple. I'm afraid that if they go in, they'll be swarmed from behind by 60 elves.
She told them to be not combatant. Say, somebody throws the rocks. Like, no, don't give an excuse. They'll just kill us. So even though they have a few makeshift weapons and everything, she calls them off. Says, no, don't fight them. We have no chance. Just they're warmongers. Don't feed to their violence.
Okay.
Take the better side, so that they can be not combatants, but they can just be annoying as they can be out front and just lay it into them that these are terrible people. You're bad people.
All right. Taking some notes. Got
you want to run that?
My
The other one
Joe
is
ideas file and taking up notes.
Oh, the ideas you probably shouldn't use, but you're gonna try them anyways.
Well, I'm thinking about it now. So again, I'm reluctant to do that, but I will stew on it a bit.
And if you could have the guerrilla leader escape from the ambush site when they're doing the ambush and they're popping up and down. They can catch one, maybe pop up in the distance, take off into the woods, and that way they immediately go into the chase.
That's true. And instead of having an interrogation, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that he you see him just pop up, maybe 20 yards in the woods. Some makes a perception check that even rolls a 1, he sees. You see a guy pop out of the woods and just full sprint into the woods and everything, and it's like that's the leader.
Yeah,
you can
okay.
just, now you're
I like that.
straight from your guerrilla ambush, straight into the chase, no healing. straight into the chase. So now they're going to show up at the temple, possibly wounded at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somehow, they also are going to take time to heal, which they probably, well, not that they have much healing anyways, but.
Well, they got good berries now. I mean, I don't know how many they actually took, but even lunch of the tree. So
10 minutes per berry, isn't it, or something? Unless you wave that.
Yeah, again, we could hand wave that a little bit more.
Maybe a day. It could be a day. Why? These are naturally good berries.
It's true.
Whole tree.
It's a magic tree. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have it be like a week has passed, so they're gonna be all healed up. But they are gonna have that fight, and then maybe they can take the good berries with them, and maybe they last a whole day. But I don't want them to have like a dozen good berries, so we'd have to have some sanity check on that.
You let them grab the dozen. 4 good ones and 8 not so good berries.
I was really excited for Even to have a bad berry, but
I noticed it on the roll and I was watching. It's like, oh, he got a bad one. You played clean. It's like, oh, he got a bad one.
He got a bad one.
All right, you just got 2 good berries, and you get 2 more. It's like, yep, I just heard that.
Yeah, and
I heard it, but only because I have inside information. Exactly. I can hear that. It's like, oh yeah, one green berry coming right up.
So I was exactly a green berry. So I was interested in that, but so I mentioned last stream, Nas had a baby like on Monday, like, so he's not going to play.
So he officially had it now, huh?
He has officially had it now. Yeah, I think they induced on Monday after they were in labor like all weekend. I guess it was a whole thing.
Oh wow.
But yeah, but
poor Mrs. Nas.
Yeah, poor Mrs. Nas. They were like in and out of the hospital 2 or 3 times, but anyway, they induced and they have a baby boy now named Geronimo.
Baby boy. Nice.
And he is adorable, and mama and baby doing well from all I understand.
If you can pass on my congrats to him.
I will. Yeah, so again, he's probably not going to be playing for a while. We'll see.
Yeah, you get about as much sleep as you get, huh?
Yeah, at this stage right now, yeah, they've been a bad couple of weeks. But yeah, he's definitely going to be in that. He's got a lot of family nearby, so I don't know, but we'll see. But again, I'm not expecting to play for a while.
First month or so, it's just a minimum to just get settled in.
And I told him, like, if you've got the 3 hours to spare, you might just want to sleep. Like, if the parents are willing to watch the baby for those 3 hours, you just want to go to sleep. I've been there. I remember. And he's got a.
That looks like, I think you had that last session. You had a sleeper in your campaign.
Yeah, Puck. Yeah, it was hard not to take that personally.
At first I thought it was a recording because it was the same motion multiple times, so I wasn't sure that he didn't record himself or something.
It's kind of just flailing around a bit. Yeah, again, we almost all of us have toddlers around 3 years old, and I guess he was just having. He's an early person, and a bad toddler day will make you exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much how that went. But yeah, so he's going to be gone for a while. I think for the next session,
you're at 3 still.
It is a 4th maybe. So Squirrel is a yes.
G-Pain still holding out.
G-Pain is a maybe. He said he checked with his wife. And Fumbar is a maybe. The Alchemist. So he's a maybe, and I've got to poke him some more to make sure he turns into a yes. But going back to the start screen real quick. So again, we're going to have Franco the Swashbuckler, Squirrel the Crossbow Ranger, Puck the Oracle, Even is not coming, and Gerhert the Bard, and Fumbar the Alchemist. So we might have 5. We could have 3. it's a really a big swing. But also,
I know you keep talking playing Saturdays, right? You talk about other days. I know you say you don't like to change days. I heard you mention that last prep session. You don't want to change days, but I know at least your brother, for one, is Friday, Saturdays are bad, but are Sundays better for players?
I believe that is better for him. Yeah. So I'm trying to feel that out. Part of me thinks like the reason I want to do the schedule thing is like because of Twitch, you want to have a regular schedule, but at the same time,
true that.
I don't think it really matters if I have like two viewers. So I think it'd be okay to switch to Sunday some weeks. But also when we get to the next chapter, the Odyssey type stuff, I want it to be more West March style. I want the players to kind of organize and say, we want to go do this. And then maybe we say, okay, these 4 people can play and we can play on the Sunday. And then maybe we do a little more flexibility with that. But yeah, we'll have to figure it out, I guess. Also, it seems like the same 3 people always come. I made this like we have like 9-10 people in the Discord, and we're trying to get people to come, and it's just this core of 3 people, and Even.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is, but we'll make it work.
Okay.
One more thing that I wanted to note is that I think we talked about it, and I talked to a bunch of other people in the chat about it over the weeks, is I was trying to run experience like separately. Everybody has whatever experience they showed up with, and I think you told me no. Was that you?
I've done it in the past. I've done separate experience points. where each person had a different experience count,
Hmm.
and it was a logistics nightmare. You actually have it organized. You're writing it down. I was having it most time. The characters already in their character sheet, and I was like, "All right, you each get this much. Make sure you record it." You know, it's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm this much," and later on, they're just saying, "Well, I'm 3,000 whatever behind you," and not they just calculated off the one person
Yeah.
always kept track.
And that's
Well, I'm that much
dangerous.
behind. Yeah, I'm that
Yeah.
much behind them, and it's like, oh, it was. I wouldn't let anybody try to get more than a level behind.
Well,
If everybody moves up to 3, then your low levels are 2. And what the main thing is, they're going to miss out on magic items or
yeah.
other items, so they won't have that kind of good stuff to have with them.
I was talking to a bunch of people in the streams that I think Blue Bugbear and Godoffer, and it seems like I also read a couple of posts on Reddit. It seems universally accepted that that is a really bad idea in general, and especially people were saying in Pathfinder 2, the way that DCs work and things scale with
Oh yeah,
level, like that +1 -1 really matters in terms of making successes and critical successes and stuff like that. And like basically penalizing players by having them be a level behind, even only one level, is not great in Pathfinder 2. So I don't know.
true,
So
true.
I kind of just I told everybody that everybody's going to be second level. So like if Gerhardt comes, it's also an enticement for them to come. If Gerhardt
Mhm.
comes or if Funbar comes, he can just become level 2. Even though like Funbar's only been to 1 session, Gerhardt's been to like 2.
You still got new players that haven't been in yet, so
Yeah,
you started
I
number
said, hey
2 rough
Larry,
rates
if you
are.
want to play your champion Karen over there, or my brother, but
Mhm.
again, my brother, like he said, he plays hockey on Saturdays, so I don't think he's gonna be playing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Like I said, Sundays it sounds like he's open then.
yeah,
Who
we
knows?
gotta make it work.
It does make sense to try to get a regular, times on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean that's supposedly good for growth for people to care about you and want to come visit you on a scheduled time. But it's not like I have a huge audience yet, so moving around probably isn't the worst idea. Especially if it's like Saturday or Sunday and you announce it like a
If you
week in
could announce
advance.
it enough time and everything, you post it up and everything that people
Exactly.
can see that coming up on Sunday, or if you get good enough, you can do it Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not if you want to stay
If my
married, but
prep
hey,
gets ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not if you want to stay married, you could do both days.
Yeah, yeah, that's a valid concern too, especially with the late nights that have been going on recently. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. I was forgot what else I was thinking with that, but that yeah, I've decided everybody can be second level. So we're gonna have a party of 3, 4, or 5 second level
Oh,
characters.
do not envy you on that one. I guess set them for a 4 and put them at medium, and either make them elite or weak.
Yeah, that's
Quick
that's
click,
that's
one
kind
button
of the
click later.
idea. Like cause I think again, I don't want to go over everything because we've done it so many times now. But the Forest Canopy, I think like these guys are already elite, so that's kind of the problem. Like I can't make them eliter.
Oh,
I
you
guess
set them for
I could
4.
add
You
another
set
one.
them.
I have one off here where I would just like throw him in basically, and he's a regular one,
Right.
so I can make him elite or regular. Um,
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
have the chemist, and like you said before, they're going to be moving through the tunnels, so maybe that's more fun. And I could add the
Yep.
Guerrilla leader here and have him take a shot or two before he runs.
He's make him a cameo on a shot, then have him disappear, and
Yep.
then save him for the moment. Then when we want to get to the chase.
Yep.
Now you make it also possibly present it before the last one goes down or he's about to go down. Of course, with these guys, it's hard to tell if it's going to be going down in 1 round or going down 5 rounds later.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that. And so like they're second level, so they get like new feats and stuff. And the thing Squirrel is taking gives him like a +2 to hit his tracked enemy or something. I forgot what he was saying, but I was looking at his feet, so he's gonna be like hitting harder. And I also dropped in the loot. I gave them a rune stone, like in the loot from the town. So
Oh yes, yes.
they're deciding who wants to get it, and it looks like Squirrel's gonna get that too. So Squirrel's gonna have like a +4 to hit from last session because 1 from his level, and then 2 from the ranger ability that he's taking. I forgot what it's called.
Okay.
Hunter's aim. When you focus on
Is this
aiming,
Squirrel or Funbar who's getting the bonus?
Squirrel's
Or
getting all
or,
this. Funbar hasn't
okay,
leveled yet. I don't know what Funbar is getting.
not Funbar. Sorry,
Franco.
Franco.
Yeah, Franco.
He's a ranger too, also.
Well, Franco's a swashbuckler,
Oh,
and
that's right,
and
Flashbacker. Okay.
he had said that he was what was I gonna say? He had said that he wants Squirrel to take it. Like I was hoping they would fight over.
Oh,
Not
nice,
hoping, you know what I mean. I was expecting them to fight over it, and turns out he was like, "Yeah, Squirrel can have it." And I was like, "Okay, that's nice of you."
That way, it doesn't be the main fighter the whole time. That does make sense in a little way. You don't want to be the only guy in the front who's again even.
It's
That
true.
uses mostly his
Yeah.
teeth.
That's what he was saying when I said everybody can go up to second level. He was poking everybody who didn't play yet. He's like, somebody roll up a tank quick. Like someone just take a second level fighter right now. We got a really good shield for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I don't know. Nobody's biting yet. We'll see what I do. I want to open it up to more people. And now that Hell's Vengeance is basically on hiatus, because again, Nas had a baby, so that's just it. Um,
That
uh,
just leaves Chris.
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna put Chris now because Chris was not playing this game because he didn't want to juggle two. But now that that's on hiatus, I think I can probably poke Chris a bunch and make him play this game. Maybe not this week, but soon.
Tyson with a cookie.
Pretty much, like, hey, remember that thing we used to do? And then go with that. And I think we were talking about it a little earlier. I'm not sure if it was before or after the stream started, but my old group ended up dying because we like a bunch of us had babies and we couldn't play 6-hour sessions on Saturdays anymore. So we started another group for like people who had toddlers and stuff. And you know, we played 3-hour sessions. It was at night after they went to bed and stuff like that. And hilariously, that group started having scheduling problems because, like you were saying, the cool kids, the single guys, wanted to go out on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah. I'm running
So,
down my Friday group. Same thing. A couple young guys. It's like I
yeah,
got a date this week. I can't do Friday. It's like, well, that makes sense.
those darn cool
Yeah.
kids going out on dates on Friday and Saturday nights.
Luckily, the other guy, he got himself a steady girlfriend now, so he doesn't have to go out on Fridays. He has the rest of the week. But the young guy was just starting to date a gal, just so he's still trying to impress her. So Friday nights is the
Yep,
day.
exactly, and that's what happened. So Chris and
Yep.
my brother, the younger people in the group, were going out on dates. And you know, my brother plays hockey on Saturdays now too. So like, it was funny. The other group fell apart because the parents couldn't make the sessions, and this group, the Hell's Vengeance one, it's not falling apart, but it's delayed, hiatus, whatever, because the younger people wanted to couldn't play when we could play basically. So it flipped around. But yeah. So I'll poke Chris some more. Maybe get him to play in this one. But yeah, getting back to what we were talking about, I like your suggestion for the Guerrilla leader being visible in the fight because I was worried that if they did this fight and they got somebody and they started interrogating him, I had no idea how long that was going to take. And when you have a 3-hour session like we do, spending 20 minutes
have a
roleplaying,
lot. You have a lot packed in. You really are.
I do. I don't want to stop. Like I don't want them to get to the Elven route, the water temple, and like not have time. That would just
The only thing is you have a double bladed sword here. You have that part at the beginning of the town where you can have a little bit of the PC interaction with the NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
You still want to show that you have the jerks in the town, so you're going to kind of rush through the 2 weeks. But at the same time, you also want to establish such that they know that those people are the buttheads from the attacking groups, that they're there,
Yep.
and so you got to recognize them. But at the same time, you want to press forward and get them into the Guerilla. So it's how much you can get through that is going to decide whether the whole thing's going to happen or not.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I'm going to narrate a bunch of what happened. Like a week is going to have passed, but I suppose I should like at least have them give input. Like, what do you do for a week? Describe in a couple of sentences, not like a whole roleplay scene, what your character does around town. And then I should mention some of the buttheads you people, like you were talking about, the gruesome trophy takers, and how they're
That are maybe they're harassed. Maybe you get complaints from the locals who are coming to the goblins and just like, hey, look, that guy over there has been harassing my family, or they're stealing some of our, they're breaking in their houses, just taking our food. Can you guys do something about that?
Yeah.
Rather than go to Ophelius, they go to the
Yep.
goblins or the Fae. They go to the Fae and say, look, come on, guys, we need some help from you.
Yep.
This town was turned over to you. Or I guess you can go back to your priest. Your priest is going to be your new link now.
Yeah.
That was a good idea, by the way. That was a really good idea.
That's yeah, I was grasping at straws. That's the next leader in line, I guess.
That is exactly. Get the religious thing going again.
Yeah. Well, it's really great how none of them know anything about religion. They're all just terrible.
They're going to learn fast.
Yeah, Gosway's going to smack them upside the head.
Especially when they've heard about your atrocities.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good.
By the time they get to the temple, they've already prayed and told Gosway about these evil folk that have come through and what they've done to the townspeople. Their reputation before they even go into that temple could already be bad. And then if they go and do the terrible things that is expected of them.
Yes.
You will have to poke them, though. You're going to have to definitely prod them that way. Play her up as a haughty, just not a very nice priestess and everything. And
yeah, she's not looking to build a bridge there. She's not looking to redeem people.
No.
You've broken my temple. You've probably killed an acolyte on your way in. I don't see them not doing.
Or at least subdued him. Yeah, they only have what, 6 hit points.
They have 6 hit points. They're gonna sneeze.
You open the door
them.
too hard, one of them might die.
Falls over dead. Elves.
Splatters on the wall. You kicked the door a little too hard.
Yeah. I think I need some portrait art for the Guerrilla leader.
The Guerilla leader?
Yeah, I don't think I have that. I should get something.
I did like your mayor picture. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. Wow. I had stuff
And
for
I
the.
agree.
I don't think I ever showed it. I had the mage, like that's like a World of Warcraft mage, blood elf. But yeah, I didn't do that. So yeah, I need to get something for the Guerrilla leader, I guess. And I like that I gave this guy like one of these cool wooden masks, like that.
Oh, the
And
one
I
that they
gave
already
him the
got.
item, this bloodhound mask. It's pretty cool. Basically, I think it's like a one-time use thing. You pop a thing near the nose and you can track with scent. So that they might use that when they're chasing the Guerrilla leader, or they might keep it for a while.
Was that the same thing that one of the I think one
Yes.
of the dwarves had
Yeah,
that
one of the half
mask?
orcs with the ooga booga booga. Yeah, yeah.
That was a surprise. I didn't know you had talked about that one, and then you dropped it in there. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, and they liked that one of all the gruesome trophies. They laughed at that one the most.
Oh, I like
Um,
the eyeballs. You played that one well. That was so
I was
disgusting.
really rushing it at the end there. I felt really bad, but like we were out of time, and I didn't want to dawdle. I wanted to just cram them all in there. But yeah, it's playing a traditional halfling joke with eyeballs. It's fine.
I called my wife. You got to come hear this one. I knew it's coming. You got to hear this.
This halfling, he just reeks of smoke, and he's really happy for some reason. The other halflings were like basically in shock because their friends had died, dragging
Yeah.
his friend through the jungle. But yeah, so yeah. So that's good. So like I said, we're gonna have 3 to 5 second level people. So I think the answer is basically I can add an extra gorilla if it's going to too easily for them. And since there's the gorilla who's going to be like moving through the tunnels, it's very easy to say, you know what? Instead of they're just moving, there was also a second one. Like you don't know how many they are. They look so much alike. One of them's in the trees, one of them's over here, one of them's moving, so you don't know.
And
I
maybe
think
the
that's
tunnels,
yeah.
the tunnel somehow they all intertwine underneath and everything.
Something like
Because
that.
here's the question: what if somebody decides to go in the tunnel?
That's a great question.
AKA Dern style. I'm going in.
I'm going in. Lube me up. I'm going in. I think Puck, having seen crevasses, would.
Oh yeah,
he
that's
would be
exact. That's a
compelled.
Pug's gonna be so excited about going in there.
I would definitely. I think I'm going to have to rule that they are specifically connected, which makes me think maybe I should think a little bit more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, just maybe.
there are.
How many openings do you have? Is it 3 or 4 openings?
I have 5. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I don't really need all 5 of them. But
so
I
maybe
do
there's
have
a giant network in the middle and everything. Maybe you could have a couple little traps or something that he runs into down there. Maybe an acid trap or something to just something that hits him in the head, or he gets conked in the head with a stick or a
if
rock
he's
or
willing to
something.
go into the things, I want him to go in.
You got to know that they absolutely know the way through. Maybe there's a deadfall and he ends up falling into a pit. He can't get himself out. Hey guys, I need someone to come down and get me. No, I'm not going in there.
I'm gonna kill that one. And I think I just connect the front one and the back one. I just say that those are how they connect and they don't cross. Because I don't want people like teleporting across like that. So I just maybe someone's here, he ducks behind here, and then all of a sudden he appears up here and takes a shot from up there, and then someone can go back here.
You need about a round or 2 in between.
Yeah, I guess. Well, how I guess they're crawling, right? So it's going to be crawling in Pathfinder is really slow. It's like 5. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. I do the same thing every time.
And maybe they have this unique proficiency. That
of course, yeah,
unknown proficiency we don't know about.
Crawl, yes, of course.
Elven crawl.
It's a 60-foot thing, so an elf could run that with 2 actions. So maybe it takes a full round for them to pop up.
30 feet on a double move action crawl, and 30 feet second move action.
Yeah, so maybe we just call it 3.
Well, you get 3 actions, so actually maybe if you are doing 15 in a crawl,
yeah,
you could do crawl, crawl, pop up, shoot.
Maybe.
And then drop prone for free.
I think you can drop prone for free in this one, yeah. So, but also again, so like the way I want to play it is kind of they're over here. This guy's gonna take a shot at him, then he's gonna move to hide, and they're gonna say, "Oh, he's hiding."
Running that way.
You have to go find him, and they come here, and he's just gone. And then they make a perception check to look for him, and they might notice the hole. And then by then he's like in the tunnel, and then on his next turn maybe he spends so he uses like 1 action to shoot, 1 action to move, and then maybe he's halfway in or whatever. And then the next turn he can move out and pop out and shoot. And then maybe he's exposed for that 1 turn. Like I don't want it to be constantly in the tunnel, but I want to be moving through the tunnel quickly enough.
You always kind of have one out, so the goblins are chasing one guy while the other ones are moving about, and then as they get close to him, he drops out, and somebody else pops up and goes.
Correct. Yeah, that
As
sounds good.
annoying as possible, which could make this a relatively difficult encounter.
Yeah, so maybe I don't need to add the third guy up there. And
Possible.
maybe the tunnels are, like, again, the elves have this problem where they move at half speed or whatever we're deciding. But maybe the goblins can just book it through them. I mean, the goblins
They're
are slower
smaller,
than elves, but maybe
so
they
maybe
just
they can move,
say,
or they can move the same speed as
yeah,
the elves.
because
Maybe
they're
the elves have the
small.
ability to move smaller.
They're
Elves are
small.
bigger.
Like the elves are squeezing or whatever we're gonna rule they're doing, and the goblins just get down there and they realize like their head clears. They're bounding through the tunnels, and the gorillas weren't expecting that sort of thing to happen. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say the front ones are aligned and the back ones are aligned, and then yeah, so this guy will take a shot. I want to draw them with this first guy, have them come in, and this guy takes a shot and disappears behind the tree. And then they have to figure out what's going on, and then the chemist comes in once the fight's engaged. And they have these cool, like, the skewer.
Are you going to do zip lines out of trees too?
No, I'm not gonna do any zip lines out of trees. That's an idea though. I could have so much fun doing guerrilla fights, but again, I don't want to spend so much time here.
A chemist in a tree where he throws a bomb and then zip lines to one of the holes and then disappears shortly after, and then or maybe they can see him climbing up a tree somewhere else. And
Bombard tried to climb a tree once, and then he threw bombs from there, and he dropped electric bomb on himself in a tree. And then he got tired of that, and he started running up and just smashing bombs in people's faces.
He point blank him.
Yeah, I'm really hoping he runs with that. Everybody has been laughing about that like since it happened on Discord. So I'm really hoping that he becomes like a melee alchemist, and that's just what he does. So yeah, this one's gonna go well. Again, I have the extra guy if I need him. I think like you're saying, the moving through the tunnels might add difficulty to it. Like it's a lot of advantageous terrain. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how many people.
Yeah, and if it's one person at a time that's really out, really they're only fighting one person. Attacks are only coming from one person, so it's not a lot of attacks going on. One person's attack, and as soon as they come rushing over towards him or shooting at him and everything, that guy ducks down and everything, and then there he's gone, and they're going to get the frontline fighters get there, and then another one pops up in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be basically, I won't have even, but it'll be squirrels the crossbow. So you'll be using Franco and
Puck.
Franco Puck. Puck, I guess.
He hits stuff with his scissors sometimes. Yeah.
His scissors, yeah, keeps breaking them.
Yeah, that's true. He breaks them a lot.
Magical scissors.
He swings
You
wildly.
need to give him some crazy magical
verdict.
scissors.
Yeah, that's true. He needs to get a nice magic. He should use the runestone on that.
Somewhere in the future, you got to throw in some bizarre scissors, some kind of magical scissors in the campaign.
Some artifact level scissors on that crystal gem island you were talking about. He finds the perfect shears.
Or he finds a rock that's perfectly sharp that stays sharp, forever sharp.
There you go. And he tries to cut the fisherman's hair with it. But yeah, this one's good. I think this will go well, and I like your idea. Definitely, the guerrilla leader should be here. Maybe he only appears at the end, or maybe someone when they're dying yells at him to get away, like he was in the trees watching or something like that. Or maybe he's shooting from the tree for like once in a while, and they can't find him because he's so stealthy. I just had a hand wave that he's so stealthy they just can't see the guy in the tree. And then someone yells at him to get away, and they see him run off, and then they have to chase him.
He could be the first one that appears and fires pop shots and say that guy looks like a leader type, so they draw into that hole for sure. Then he goes in and never appears again, and the other guys then pop up and do all their attacks until he pops at a hole somewhere 20 yards outside of the forest, and you see him making a full on sprint off in the distance.
Okay.
And that way you don't have to worry about time about interrogating. It's boom boom. You're gonna go guerrillas to your chase.
I'm down
straight to the temple. That could save your time.
Yeah, I completely
agree.
How
much feed time you're gonna give them on the NPCs in the town. Maybe you have to just basically tell them that the buttheads have been harassing some of the locals, and they come to them and say, look, these guys are doing terrible things, and whether they know by name or just describe them.
Yeah, I dropped their names, but I don't think they really stuck because
there's no way.
Yeah, so
I know my PCs never know a name of anybody, even though they've met him 20 times before.
Oh, I think if they met him a bunch of times, like I think they know Orin's name, and I think they know Lynn the gnome, or maybe they don't. I know
Lynn, I think they know. Lynn they know because a couple of them interacted and stole stuff from her. So you have to have a good interaction like that with them.
That's fair. All right, so this is good, and again, we can scale it up or down based on number of people. I think that'll be okay.
Mhm.
And if it goes really quickly, that's also fine. Like if they slaughter them, that's fine. It is what it
Let's see
is.
how powerful second level characters really are.
I have no idea. I
I don't either.
I really don't. I think and again in my other game where I was a player, I think we only played like 9 sessions. I think we got to second level. And I'm not even sure we played a session of it. So I have no idea. But I was looking at their hit points and stuff. Like so Franco level, he has 34 hit points now. I don't
That's
remember what
really
he had
good.
last level, but I feel like it doubled somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
I
sense.
wonder if he added both race and class again.
Maybe. I'll have to check because
That
that
would
seems very high, right?
yeah, a little bit. Should be 8, 8, 8, 24, probably about 26 with con.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna.
that's maybe
Oh yeah,
about
what's his
that's
con?
about 8. That's about 8 too high,
Yeah,
probably. But he added his race again.
that makes sense. I'm gonna ask. Um,
Con +2 con. Yeah.
when
If it's
you
8, 8, 8. Oh, he's a fighter though. Fighters might be D10s though,
he's a
right?
swashbuckler.
No, it's warrior type.
That's
Fighter
true.
type.
I gotta look up swashbuckler.
So that's 10, 10. Races probably goblins are probably 6 or 8.
Yeah, but everybody took, not everybody, but the majority of people took this. Where's the goblin feat? I thought they're like, what type of goblin are you? I thought it was a feat. They're all like
Ancestry stuff.
they're all like unbreakable goblins, right? And that makes you like a
Okay.
D10.
Okay. So
Swashbucklers are 10. So 10, 10,
10, 20,
yeah.
30, and 4 is 34.
Yeah.
Is right.
Cripes.
You got some work there, my friend.
Yeah. So again, I feel like he's like doubled his hit points, but I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention. Is what it is.
Now you don't have to worry about them taking a hit and dying a one shot. That's always the thing.
That's true.
I always tell them at second level the training wheels come off. Sorry guys, it's for real now.
Well, yeah. Well, did you see the last session
Oh
where
yeah. What's
died?
your idea? What are you gonna do to even scar him?
Yeah, I gotta scar him.
He's not a charisma guy anyways.
He's
that is not going to hurt him, and he can play it up. Maybe it's the side of his face and some of his arms still has burn marks on it.
Yeah.
Maybe his leg. I wouldn't affect his movement, but definitely his. He does interact anyways, so he can play into that already. It feeds his character, so
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt him.
He would
way.
eat that up again. I like it.
And
I like that a lot.
it could be it burned his hair, and he has maybe a bald spot too. You know, we got to get the hair.
I'm curious because goblins don't usually have hair, but since we have a barber in the group, I assume most of the
Yeah,
goblins are
now
going
we
to have
suddenly
hair.
pay attention to hair all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the question. What do we see? You see some elves. What's their hair look like?
Puck was saying something like, "Did somebody tell me about the hair?" Like it was like, and
we had a campaign. We ended up getting a mansion somewhere in the campaign, and so
What?
every time we went into a room, the DM reads the description, and it's like, "There's a chair. There's a chair, a bed. What's the chair look like? Oh, it's a nice plush chair. I'm taking that. It's mine." It's like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
we're fighting over the items of the house so we could equip our house up and everything, and describe what we had in our bedrooms. And oh, I want this 4-poster bed. I'm taking it back and fixing it up. This is nice.
Right? Yeah, I remember. I was also in like I think it was in Rise of the Rune Lords. We were in like a manor. It was like, yeah, there's these silk carpets. Like, well, bundle that shit up. Let's put it. Make sure you put that by the door before we leave.
Yeah, we had to have 2 wagons so we could carry all our gear back. All the stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't treasure. It was mundane stuff. It's like, no, I can fix this up, or I'll spend money. And then we bought a bar that was like 3 doors down from our mansion,
Mm.
and we ended up getting some rockworms to tunnel through and make some holes for us so we could get between the secret door from the bar back to our house without nobody getting in. And oh, we had everything planned out in this house.
Sounds like a lovely.
That's where all our money went. We spent
We gotta
all
spend it on
this money
something. It's boring to just
Gotta
buy
spend it
items with it.
Yeah, well, we did plenty of that. We were finding good items, and we, always the issue I have, and I don't know how you've run it. I think you run it better than I do. Gets to the point where your city only you can only afford so much. Say it's a 50,000 gold piece or 20. Usually it's
Yeah,
20,000 gold piece limit. But what do you make available to them? I mean, there's plenty of awesome items you can equip character just 5 to 20,000 gold piece items and get a really good looking character out of it.
Yep.
So I always ran after a while. They get so much good stuff that eventually they get a treasure in a dungeon that's awesome. It's like, yeah, I don't really want it. I don't really need that.
Yeah, that's definitely really hard, especially like
And that-
'cause in the other campaign where I'm the Hell's Vengeance one, like they're in Agorian, they're in the capital of a major empire.
You can't get better than Agorian. That's
Yeah,
true.
like what do you want to buy? It's there, or a guy knows where it is. Like I will find it for you in a week or two. So yeah,
I think my next campaign, I'm gonna literally have restriction of magic items. I'm gonna pull up a huge list, but it's gonna be randomly generated. I think, And maybe it's the items they want, maybe it's not. And it's no guarantee that those items that are there this time will be there next time. But not every item will be available. I mean, just have a good list of items they can buy if they got the money. But that way, at least when they get a really cool item, they'll say, "Oh, wow, actually, yeah, that is pretty good. I could use that slot." Rather than they're always trying to buy every single. I want
Yeah,
everybody wants the plus, the best plus on their weapon. And what's the best plus I can get for a ring? What's the best plus I can get for a cloak? What's the best, and
correct.
after a while, they're all equipped out exactly the same. They're cookie cutter, and it's like that's
Well,
not.
that's yeah. That happened in my other game, like with the cloak of displacement. Like I don't know why other cloaks exist at higher levels. It's like, do you want to just have blur up all the time, like for free, basically? Well,
Yep,
not for free.
yep.
You pay for it, obviously, but like no limit per day, no consumable, and it's just like, yeah, all of my melee characters now I got to roll like 1d5 and miss on a one, basically, and it's just crap. Um,
They'll get cookie cutter. They'll start looking the same by the end. It's like that's not what I want. I mean,
yeah.
I gave them a cool item. There was one I had that was an item of it was a mental bond, and so anybody who wore the other rings, there were 3 rings initially.
Hmm.
Anybody who wore the other rings and works really good with spellcasters, you can cast spells out of the other person's mind. Now, it's obviously not going to be in your primary stats. So your DCs are lower. But if you needed a heal spell and you're next to the person who needs a heal spell, you can pull it out of the cleric's head. You cast
And you
his
cast
spell,
it.
it comes out of his head, but you can then cast a heal spell. Or you need to heal myself. It's like, hey, can I use? I'm using your heal spell, and you heal yourself rather
Is
than
it
have the cleric come
is it a
running over.
question, or can I just take it? Do I have to
You
ask
just
the
yeah,
question?
no, it's not really a question. You just say, I need this heal, so I'll take care of it. And so it was pretty cool. They'd
Yeah.
run around, but they the items they looked at it and they said, no, I already got these rings. I don't want to give up the rings I got. It's like, oh, come on. The amount of power you could do is where you're interchanging spells together. I
Yeah,
thought
that
was
that seems
pretty
horribly
cool.
broken. I would jump all over that for
You
sure.
still only have so many spells. It's not like you're gaining extra spells.
Hmm.
And if everybody wants to cast Fireball, that wizard's going to be empty real fast. Or
Yeah.
you better have a sorcerer because guys, get out of my head. I need some more spells. Stop. I was saving that one.
Yeah. I feel that at lower levels, there's a lot more freedom to give people cool items, especially consumables. You can give them something and they use it
Yes.
once and it's a big deal and then it's gone. I haven't had
Mhm.
put any talismans in the game. I really should have. I've heard mixed things on Reddit. Like people don't seem to like talismans. Like the consumable things like you put on a weapon or a piece of armor, and then like when you crit with the weapon, you can use the weapon's critical effect if it's an owlbear claw, whatever it is.
Okay.
They're like consumables that are on weapons and armor.
That could be really cool with your island ideas. That each of the different islands, maybe you pick up a talisman of the islands.
Oh, I like that because one of the things I was
So
thinking of,
each
like,
island
yeah,
has maybe a special type of talisman. It's like, oh, this talisman is, you got the Owlbear Island. We have Owlbear talismans.
yeah,
Maybe Circe has a certain item they can give them that is useful.
yeah. Because I
So
was
that
I
you
was
have all
good.
got to get the talismans in there, and then they can get a feel for each of the different places.
Yeah, because I was definitely thinking like we talk about a dinosaur island, and in my head I want that to be one of like the early islands. I want Cersei to mention in passing like, oh, there's an island with giant lizards over there, and I was wondering like
Giant
why.
lizards is a good way to put it. Is Circe bigger than normal, or that's just the Cyclops is big?
The Cyclops is big. Cersei is normal size. She's like a nymph or a
Oh, okay.
nereid or whatever. So she's gonna be normal human size, maybe tall, but normal humanoid size. Um,
So she won't be calling them Fae then, right? Because she knows they're not
No,
Fae.
she's gonna be very aware that they're not Fae because she's a Fae and there's a lot of Fae over there. But I'm gonna play it up that like she hasn't really seen a goblin. Maybe she knows, but she hasn't seen. And one of the things I mentioned was the her gimmick where she's like an herbalist, just like in the Odyssey. She's an herbalist who turns people into animals based on like you eat the food and you become it. The goblins are gonna be immune to that. Just for whatever reason, they eat trash. They're immune to
They eat
that.
trash. Yeah,
And like
I've eaten worse.
their physiology doesn't make any sense for the magic, and they're immune to it. And Cersei finds that more intriguing than angering, so she's gonna like put up with it. She wants to talk to them and genuinely is interested in them. And then when they want to leave, or hopefully want to leave, she'll let them go, and she'll be there. And she can be used as kind of like a hub or a safe place or something to go back to.
If they can find their way back.
Correct. If they can
Depending
find the
how their mapping goes or how the islands twist them up.
Correct. That is entirely true. But I was thinking, like, why would they go to the dinosaur island? Like, I want to have one. I wanted to mention it in passing, and I want to be cool. Let's go to the dinosaur island. But like, why
Food.
would the goblins elect it? And I was thinking, oh, Circe could ask for an egg or something. Like, she's never had a dinosaur on her island, and she likes to have animals. But I like the idea of different talismans, and they could go there, and they could be, like, special talismans made with dinosaur bones or something like that. Like, go get
Dinosaur
a raptor claw.
claws, or or teeth, or
Yeah, exactly. Go get some Tyrannosaurus teeth.
or maybe not the eyeballs. They don't see so well. Although in Dungeons and Dragons First Edition, I ran the campaign I ran. There's a bunch of dinosaurs on the island. They could spot. They had the best perception ever. It wasn't perception, spot and search back then. But either way,
Back
they
in
were
my
really good at seeing things. It came out
Yeah.
before Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park ruined it. Now the dinosaurs can't see anymore. They're bad. They got bad eyesight. It's like not the dinosaurs on the island I was running. We have a Gripply that was in our party that was a rogue and hid everywhere, and the dinosaurs kept looking at him. He was pretty disturbed. He didn't like dinosaurs anymore. That dinosaur is tracking you. It's like, what? It's like, it's watching you move. It's like, that's not good.
All right. Yeah, so I like that idea. I'm definitely gonna run with that. I'm gonna look at all the different talismans, and I'm gonna have like if they go to the dinosaur island and they kill a raptor, maybe they have it, or maybe Circe can give them one and say like, this is from that island of dinosaurs, and it'll be like an owlbear claw, but like with a raptor claw instead.
Yeah.
And then
one reason to go
get more.
One reason to go to your dinosaur island
Mhm.
is you need meat.
Meat.
Doing a hunt. We're doing a meat hunt.
We're
Go
doing
to
some
island
more
and get some. We need some lizard meat. Go to the island and get us some lizard meat. You need a 3-ton dinosaur. Oh wait, just a big lizard.
Strike meat back.
Just we bring us. You got a boat. We will pay you if you can go. You have a large enough ship that you can go to this island. Give you directions. Here's the island, and there's some lizards on the island. If you can kill the lizards for us and bring back the meat, surprise, surprise, lizards are 50 feet tall and just destroying.
I left that part out.
It's Godzilla on the island. Surprise.
All right. Yeah. So another thing I have here before we jump into whatever else we were talking about, I've started getting portraits done of the characters, and the first one, the sketch. This is not done yet, but the sketch of Puck is looking.
Do you have an artist? You're commissioned?
I am commissioning an artist from Reddit, yes, and it's loading on the stream. Hopefully it catches up. He drew too many hairs. Puck is supposed to have a single hair, but otherwise I am in love with this already.
Yeah. What's the artist's name?
On Reddit it is Spaz14.
Give him some free promo here.
/u/Spaz14. I found him, like, I subscribe to a bunch of different places. I think you found him in Starving Artists /r/Starving Artists. People advertise like doing commission work for portraits and stuff, and I absolutely loved. He drew like a Kenku or whatever they called him in D&D, like a crow person, and I loved the style, and I just said, okay, I want my goblins like that. Make me Pathfinder goblins like that. And this is coming out really well. This was the initial sketch I just got today, and Puck's comments are that he wants like some bloody, muddy bandages on his side because he's a bad healer.
It has come to that, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's kind of become that. He's done that enough times now that it's part of his character. And I think they were talking about the braid. He wants the braid of hair to be present somehow. But I didn't mention that initially, so hopefully the artist is okay adding that in. But I'm in love with this. I'm definitely going to get the rest of the goblins done up by this guy now. But yeah. Where are we going? Yeah.
Ready for some island ideas?
We could do some island ideas. Let me think real quick about this though. So let's think about this fight with the idea.
Well, you can go back to the town. We could go step by step and talk about what we could expect to happen in the town.
Well, you can't expect anything. You can't expect anything.
All right. What we hope happens in the town.
Okay. I just want to think about this for 1 second, like as if we have 3 people versus we have 5 people, how I could scale this. So she's elite. I could either make her normal or weak. The priestess can get bigger or smaller very easily.
Pull the octopus or the triton.
That's true. Could always just pull it out.
Yeah. If it's down to 3, I'd pull one of those 2.
Okay, fair enough. I could always just not. Having that.
I know you really like. I know you really like the octopus.
Well, Nas especially was gonna like that. That was one of my things. Was we have this kind of running joke with the octopi. But yeah, we could easily pull that, and yeah, we can scale this if it's only 3, and or if they're super beat up from the stuff before, we can make that happen. Yeah, so that's easy enough. I think this is not a huge problem. I think, again, this guy being up here, this guerrilla leader, and he is not very bad at shooting. And he has the hunt prey, so he gets an extra 1d8 on like the first attack every round. So like he could
If you
conceivably
assume,
dropping like 19 damage a round, which is still, well, an attack, I should say, because he gets a second attack if he wants. But yeah, it's scary.
does ACs go up by 1 each level? Does that also
Yeah,
change?
your AC scales with your
Okay.
level. You're trained and all. That's how basically everything works. And then at some point
Yeah.
you become like an expert, and you get like an extra +2 or whatever it is from being better trained at it. But no one gets that yet that I'm aware of. None of the players. But yeah, so everybody's armor is going up, all their hit points are going up, all their attacks are going up, all their saves are going up.
How do 3 characters work on your chase? Is that gonna be okay?
On my what?
Your
Oh,
chasing?
yeah, I can scale that back. I think that'll be okay, because basically the gimmick of the chase is that the elves are going to be like making rolls behind the scene, and I think I'm going to kind of just fudge some of the rolls behind the scene to make it so
yes.
yeah. So I can make them
about 2 behind.
I can make them as slow and as fast as I want them to be. Exactly. I don't want them to be blowing them away. Obviously, if they're struggling with it, I can always just make it work. But yeah, so I have those 3, and like I said, there might be 2 other ones.
Yeah. So you could have him literally running through the if you have the people outside the temple, he could literally using those almost as like human shields.
Yep.
not that that's not that you can shoot in the combat now, so that's not the issue, but
Correct.
it's not the same threat anymore.
Exactly. So yeah, I think the chase is fine. I think the temple is fine. Yeah, so let's think about this real quick before we jump into islands. Thinking about this, I think I should try to time box it, because I definitely let the players kind of just run with it. And
True.
in the past, like it's taken a long time. Like they will role play for a while, or they'll kind of stammer and stutter and not know what to do for a long time.
If you just have them where you just keep throwing the situations at them. The people in the town are upset with because these terrible mud people, as you call them, the terrible people are coming in and they're just causing issues. They're stealing food out of our houses. They're taking our supplies. They're doing whatever they want in the town. They've taken over our house, or if some of the houses or everything that they've just literally kicked us out of our house. We had to stay at the temple, or
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was just slowly decide over time. Maybe they've relaxed a little bit, let people get back to their houses and such.
Yeah, I was
Or
thinking
maybe
that Apelius would initially put everybody in like one of the inns so they could watch them, but then like over the course, it's only been like a week. So, but over the course of the week, like he lets them out to do things in town, like they can't just sit in an inn all day. But like again, there's not a lot of work to do. Like I think I said in the last session, the elves aren't like, they're not doing commerce. They're not like, the smith isn't making swords to sell. He's basically just here for when the ship comes in and they need a smithy to do a job. He does it, and there's no ship, so they're all just kind of milling about town aimlessly.
He's really good at making forks and spoons.
Exactly, and the carpenter is good at like making. He's also a cooper. He makes barrels and he makes all this stuff, and it's like, well, I'm not just gonna sit here and like just make random things out of wood while no one's here. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So we'll open it up with like, I'll do a narration explaining like a week has passed, and then ask everybody to briefly describe in a couple of sentences what you do during those 2 weeks, how you act. Do you have any interest with the elves? And then I think, like you're saying, I like the idea of just keep throwing situations at them so that we kind of move through some of it. Like you ask them how they act, have everybody go in order, just like go through the turn or whatever, and then say okay, and then a couple days in this happens. Like I like your idea, like they're being harassed by some of like the dwarves that were wearing elf ears are showing them off and disturbing people, or they're taking food from the elves, or these people are eating, the half-orcs are eating too much and the innkeeper is getting upset and stuff like that. Just kind of throw a couple of things like that at them, and then have them role play and maybe throw some sort of a check at them to see how they do it. Like, do they care? And B, what do they do? And then like how well do they do it, I guess. And I think that'd be good. But at the end of the day, I do want the majority of the town to be kind of like, they're docile. Like these people are not resisting. And I want the even when we start talking about, the narration starts getting into like, and now these gorillas are coming, and maybe they don't venture into town, but like when people are out in the woods, they get injured or killed. And I want the priest to kind of stress that the people in town are not corroborating. and he believes that it's a sincere thing. They're not like working with the guerrillas. The people in town have wholly surrendered to the Fae and the commander. And I want to see if the players believe and or care.
Could be the first one could happen while they're still being held in one of the inns.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, it's like obviously you had watch over all the people, but you know the first person got whacked somehow. But somehow, here's the question: the players are going to question themselves: how do the guerrillas know that who are the bad people in the town who did the things? Did they see it in the woods and they passed the word around? Did they? How are they going to know? Did the townspeople tell the guerrillas what was happening? Are there a few townspeople that were telling the guerrillas
Well,
who the bad people
that's
are?
not that's a good point. So my first reaction is probably some of them saw, like, so the wood elves might have seen some of like the dwarves taking necklaces and stuff like that. The townspeople that left, they all left before people came back. So, well, I guess the halflings and the first halflings and the humans who didn't do any bad things, they were there, and that's what set the mayor off. And then the mayor left, and then everyone else left, and then all the gruesome trophies came in. So the townspeople and the mayor that left didn't see the elf ear necklace or the scalped pauldrons and stuff like that. So they wouldn't know, but that's a good question. So
it's another good reason why the mayor actually probably wouldn't hang out in the woods, since she's not associated with the wood elves.
agreed.
She would go to a temple, which is back to being her own kind of people, and it's the only other safe place they know of.
It's true. I played up in the journal that like they abandoned Gazra. Like they have this Serenray temple, and like basically they turned away from him. Like remember we said that they're no longer pious. Only his most pious children are safe or whatever. So it seems a little odd for them to like just go to that temple after this.
It's amazing when you get rough times how much you'll revert back to. It's like, oh, we're so sorry. I'm so sorry. I meant to be good to Gazra.
Help!
My bad.
That Serenray guy just surrendered right away. He's really just rolling over for those Fae. But yeah, maybe I'll think about it. I'll stew on it.
Because if it's their own type people, you know,
it's true. Like
those
the
wood elves,
town elves. Yeah,
town elves. Yeah. So that's the only other place outside the town, other than a few farms, and those things don't look like they're safe places to be. So maybe they go to the only other place they think, a large place that might be able to put them up for shelter or something, and maybe they're just hanging out in tents or hanging outside just around campfires, and maybe they get to sleep inside the church at night. Maybe they let them sleep inside. So you could always say like maybe there's you see beds or something, or you see a lot of blankets inside the that they've been sleeping on, you know, whatever's inside. But outside during the daytime, they're back outside sitting around campfires and doing whatever outside. So you wouldn't have to have tents then at that point. And maybe that's where you see they have a few sharpened sticks and maybe a couple clubs. But as soon as somebody throws a rock, she says, "Stop! Don't give them the excuse to kill us. They're just looking for an excuse. These are evil people that are trying to conquer us, and they're just looking for an excuse to kill us. Don't give them the excuse."
Yep.
Maybe they do kill them. More likely that'll stop them from killing the villagers. But the villagers, at the same time, hopefully aren't going to go. That would keep the villagers off of them, so they don't have to worry about them being combatants.
Agreed.
So if you're doing time-wise, let's say, excluding the town for the moment, if you divide it into 4 parts, it's 45 minutes each. The first encounter would be the guerrilla encampment for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The chase scene, probably less than 45 minutes.
I would hope, but you never know.
The temple would be about 45 minutes, would give you, depending on how the town. Try not to go over 45 minutes at the beginning of the town.
Yeah. Assuming everybody shows up on time. last week it was like 10 minutes.
It always has. Technology kills us half the times too. Power outages. So many of my friends live in areas where they get terrible, terrible rainstorms, and it seems somebody's, playing and all of a sudden, whoop, they're gone. They drop out of game and chat at the same time. It's like, oh, that's a power outage. Usually we get a text message, hey, power out.
Yep. Yeah, I've certainly been on that side of it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Time boxing it to try to make it so that like we're moving to the first encounter after 45 minutes. That should be enough time to role play. But again, I definitely underestimate how much time it takes to role play a scene.
If you give them a chance, they will role play.
It's true, and I like that. I like this group that does that.
Yeah, it's a good role playing group. That is a very good part about your group. Makes me jealous. I want to play with them.
Are you play like I feel like a lot of my players are crunchier, but I guess like Nas really gets into it. I really like the way he plays Even and the way he played Nero in the other campaign. He's really
huge Nero. Yeah, Nero, big fan.
he really gets into it. So But yeah, I think again we'll time box it, and we'll basically I'll ask them in a couple of sentences to describe what they do, and then we'll move through it. Like I'll throw some situations at them, ask who. Well, again, maybe the people can go up to a specific goblin. Like they might walk up to Franco, or they might walk up to Squirrel, but only Squirrel speaks Elvish, or Elven. I mean, G Pain does too, but like Franco doesn't speak it, which has been like problematic. Like
Yeah,
in my head I thought Franco would be doing more, but like he's just kind of taking a back seat because he doesn't speak to elves.
I had a DM give me a thing called a babblefish. I don't know where it came from, but it was literally the Hitchhiker's Guide.
Mm-hmm.
But when I put it into my ear, it caused me 1 permanent point of hit point damage each time. So, and I had to take it out each day, basically drain it of juices because as it filled up, and then I'd have to re-put it in the next morning for -1 hit point again. I was always down 1 hit point each day. So it was like a hearing aid. He said there was a little squishy bug that I shoved in my ear, the babblefish. I had one of those, and it was like that helped me understand the languages.
That was pretty fun. I like that idea. So yeah, I think we'll do that. If G Pain doesn't come, I feel like they're going to keep coming to Squirrel though. But I guess they could just come to the goblins as a group. They come to the Fae as a group and talk through Squirrel.
Or he goes to Franco and starts talking in Elven, and he has no idea, and so he'll have to drag him back to over to Squirrel. As they're fanatically going through descriptions, you can just tell by how agitated they are with their hands, and maybe they're trying to make orc ears or whatever, trying to act like they're an orc, and trying to make it like an orc, and shows them eating food.
Yep.
And then shaking their head, pantomime pretty much the idea that these guys are eating all my food.
Yep.
They're taking all the fresh supplies and leaving only old supplies behind for us to eat. Some of the supplies have gone bad, or they're leftovers. They take the fresh kills and leave us with old bad stuff.
Yep.
Or they go through the stores. Maybe they have some stores of food stored up, and they're just going through it at an incredible pace. The stores are not going to last. These are whatever winter would be, but we don't have enough to last winter at the pace they're going. Let alone that more likely they're just going to take all the stuff, and most of them when they leave town are just going to take all the stuff and hope the new guys let them deal with the town.
Exactly. Yeah, that's their problem now.
No long-term plans here. We got about a 2 or 3 week plan. Yep, that's good. What's left?
Yeah,
Nothing.
pretty much. Like they landed, and I said like, yeah, you're going through the docks, and they have all these dried foods and stuff because like whatever you'd put on a ship for a long journey, and it's like you see that there's like a month worth of rations for a crew your size. That's fantastic. You're safe. Just don't die. And yeah, now they're here, and this farmland and stuff. So like, yeah, I like that idea. I like the idea of.
But nobody farming it if they've got most of the people here in town or killed the rest. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that Apilius is gonna let some of the farmers like stay out of the town because like he wants the farmland to not just wither and die. He wants people keeping it ready because when they come here to occupy it for real, you want to have a farm ideally.
But they always have to come back at night.
I don't know. Maybe.
Because maybe some don't come back.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah, it's like they wouldn't join the mayor. So then he's going to be torn.
Yeah.
Maybe he turns to the goblins and asks for their advice some now.
Apilius comes?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like an Apilius thing, but he starts asking the goblins for, hey, what do we do about these people? Or maybe some of them didn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Although he doesn't seem like the person would ever ask for help for anything, though.
Yeah, he's kind of haughty. He's kind of. But again, I also want to like once the Guerrilla stuff starts happening, I want him to start like sweating. I want him to like he realizes that like this occupation isn't going to last if he's losing a person every day or so or every couple of days. Like even though there's 60 of them, and we'll say like 5 of them or whatever died in the initial invasion. If he's losing a couple people every a day or whatever it is. He's gonna like a couple of weeks of this is not going to survive. He's just not going to last. Eventually, the elves will be emboldened.
You could have some of the halflings and gnomes and everything get real agitated when they start seeing their own people, and it's like, well, when's the reinforcements going to get here? It's this town's not safe.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially you see some of your, it's like, hey, so and so just disappeared last night, and maybe they send the goblins out into the woods to look and find the corpse of whoever.
Yeah.
They said they don't seem to attack you guys. Why don't you guys go out there and look for? We're all getting whacked. They've gotten a halfling, a gnome, a dwarf, a half-orc. But they don't mess with you goblins. They kind of tolerate you guys. You go look out there and see if you can find what's left of old eyeball guy or what's left of shoulder pad
eyeball guy.
You go find whatever happened to him, man. They find what's left of him out in the woods a few grizzly times out there.
Yeah.
Again, 45 minutes. You have a lot you could be doing 45 minutes. You got to be real careful with your time.
It's true. Agreed. Like, once you start going down that rabbit hole, I don't want to, like, now they're out looking for people. And I do eventually want, again, the gorillas are going to fight them. Like, they're going to bump into the gorillas and they're going to get fought. So I don't want to establish that the gorillas won't fight them. Because again, the Fae are working with the mud people or whatever. They're following orders.
That's mostly like hit and run tactics. So maybe they
Yeah.
one of the times when they're going to look at the bodies, they actually catch tracks, or they see them fleeing into the woods.
Yep. And
If they see them fleeing into the woods, that could be your introduction into the guerrilla attack. You know, it's like you see some of these green elves dressed in camouflage heading into the woods, and this body is freshly killed. You know, maybe shoulder pad guy. It's like, oh man, he's he's still bleeding from the scalp, dead but bleeding from the scalp. I mean, he's that fresh. Hey, and now you see, the elves taking off into the woods, and you can give a little chase, and they can see them, disappearing. You'd say, hey, just went into this little thing, and you can, appear in the circle, and boom, the guerrilla ambush, followed rapidly by a chase, followed rapidly by the church. Bam, bam, bam.
Agreed.
So
I definitely like
that. Would be a way to really quickly feed them into the if they're not ready to go for the gorillas, or that way it could be a start. That Ophelis is like, look, we've lost every base, but they do not mess with you. You go for whatever reason, they're not messing with you.
They seem to like
you. Go. Guys. You need to go out there and look. You need, for whatever reason, they're not attacking you. And I don't know why. Well, he knows why deep down, probably. You go out there and you go talk to the. You go to try to find some of the missing people. I can't. Or maybe he sent a patrol out and they didn't come back.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, no, that way at least you get him out to the grill attack and lead him to the grill attack.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be ordered to go out
to the race.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Because Apilius, again, he's going to be demanding more and more. Like, as people are going missing, and as people are coming back injured or dead, and they just keep talking about the wood elves. And in the last session, the troops that came in, they all kind of reiterated that. They all said, like, the wood elves were serious business.
You definitely built up the wood elves. You did a good job on that.
Yeah, thanks.
They have a strong fear. Their fear is the other elves that they don't realize that are really none out there, but the other elves and they live in the villages. They're out there. They're coming, man. They're coming. Man.
Yeah.
We got to defend ourselves from these pitchforks and torches.
Yeah, exactly. They were worried, like, oh, there's like 60 people that are gone. And yeah, exactly. And I want to stress, like, when they do see them, whether it's in the ruins or at the temple, like, they have like very crude instruments, and they are very much not an army. They're a bunch of townsfolk who like have a sharp stick now.
It's the city folk going on a camping trip.
Pretty much, yeah, and they're failing miserably at it.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so I think that's good, and I think you're right. I time box it, and then if I notice that it's going on too long, I just I cut it. I just push them.
I think your chasing is the only one that will probably for sure take less than 45, which is fine. That if you're hurting on time, that's where you'll probably save it. I'm thinking.
Agreed. And like when I was showing you the chasing before, I can even roll the checks before the people. Like I don't want to, because I like the idea of, like, I mash this button, I say, okay, make a perception check, and then people go, oh, boom, boom, boom. I like the idea of the players hitting the button. I mean, I can hit the button, but then it's just me playing a game by myself with their characters, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
I feel like I need them, and I also want to give them an option, like you say, make a perception check or acrobatics, and then they can they click the one they want. So yeah, that's kind of the gimmick, and I think this will go pretty quickly, especially if they roll halfway decent. And again, the DCs are all in my head or like during the sheet, so I could always make them lower if I need to, if I want to just move it along.
Time-wise, you can adjust it.
I mean, it's funny if the goblins fumble for a while, like they get stuck in the mud, or Puck falls in a pit on the first one. That's they're goblins. It's hilarious. But I don't want to be spending, like I said, I don't want to spend more than 45 minutes here. Like the quicker this gets done, the better.
This one I bet you could probably clean out in 30 minutes. The bear could be an issue. They decide to go fight a bear.
I hope not.
I'm not going to put anything past them now. It's like, hey, there's a bear.
They could fight a bear. That's not that. But that's not that. They could kill that bear.
Yeah,
baby cubs.
And collect them and raise them, just like some owlbears that they caught in the past.
Yeah, that was funny. They sold them. They cleaned them up and sold them. That was really good. That was a great scene in the Hell's Vengeance campaign. I loved it. Yeah, very, very Vors. And they use it to talk their way into the town. That was the best part. I was wondering, how are they going to get in? I was like, well, they can always teleport. I'm not sure if Iwin had actual teleport yet. She might have had Dimension Door. I'm like, oh, no, That's a
Right
wild.
dimension door.
And she's like, they were like, yeah, we got these owlbears. We're magnificent owlbear salesmen.
Oh, good job on that ring of telling the truth.
Oh, I kind of bungled that for a while, and then I used it to a
You
good.
had you said you could remember all times. You had it several times. Minerna, the I love your Minerna. I think that was her name. The woman who liked the she collected the hearts and then she liked the meat.
Oh,
The meat they
Generva.
got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Generva,
yeah,
that was her.
yeah,
Generva. She was another one he couldn't lie to. Also,
yeah. That was fun.
she had that was another time. It's like it's like after I've gone back because I've cheated. I've gone back and listened to the the episodes again. It's like, oh yeah, the ring. It does.
Yeah.
It's been there.
That
So
really annoyed him. Like the 3 or 4 times I remembered it, it was really
yeah.
annoying.
Why do I have to tell the truth all of a sudden?
Yeah. And they first happened at the gate, and Nas was like, "Oh, it must be like one of the Hound Archons has a spell or something, or there's something on the gate specifically." And they
Yeah, he
got
tried all sorts of detecting magic and trying to figure things out. And
yeah, it doesn't
oh man,
detect. It's a cursed item.
must be something pretty good there, huh?
Yeah,
And
that was
Generva,
that was fun.
she made him speak the truth.
Yeah, that was fun.
That
Definitely.
was a good one. Every time I go curse, I usually forget about it. This is bad as the players. It's like, oh, it really is that item.
That was yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. Fine. It is what it is now. And like
Yeah.
the cool thing about that the cool thing about the that ring was it was supposed to be like a ring of mind shielding, so like they can't read your mind, they can't read your alignment. So like he gave away his angel skin, like because they were hiding the fact that they were evil, and all of these paladins are walking around, and he was glowing evil. Like so, anytime he was walking around, he thought he had this ring that was shielding him, and he was glowing evil. And I only made use of that like twice. I think one time I remember is that a unicorn smote him because unicorns have smite apparently. And he's like,
Oh
"How does the
yes.
unicorn know I'm evil?" I'm like, "It's a unicorn. I don't know.
They just smite everybody.
Yeah, they just try. They always try." Uh,
Yeah, we got the other one is I remember somebody got a ring. It was instead of mind it was mind shield, it was project mind. So every time he thought something, everybody could hear him. They just hear what he was thinking. So it's like, I don't trust these people and you think it out loud. It's like, oh, okay. They're here. It's like telepathically they hear what he's thinking. It's like, what is this guy thinking about this, man? What am I hearing? So that was a fun one. And he knew the green was cursed because he couldn't take it off. That was his first hint. It's like, oh man, it's stuck. I can't
Yep,
get it off my
that's the best
finger.
part. Like,
Yeah. Pretty much every time I put a magic item, I put it on. All right, I take it off. Did it come off? Oh, okay, I'm good. We'll move on. I'm fine.
All right. So yeah. So we can talk about more
I
islands.
think your 4-part adventure seems like you got it pretty well set.
Yeah, I think this is good. That's definitely again as long as we time box the first thing, and I'll do some writing this week to make sure I have some ideas and like things to throw at them. But I think that's pretty much it. And I think the fights again, unless they go horribly wrong, like unless they start rolling crit fails over and over again against the first gorillas.
Yeah, the gorillas could go bad. And again,
Yeah.
you're only gonna have about one out attacking at a time.
Yep.
So they're not gonna have a lot of attacks at them.
Yep.
Now that they got their 30 plus hit points, they're pretty solid.
Yeah, I think they all have to finish leveling up. Like Squirrel will have another. I don't know what Rangers get, maybe 8 or 10. So yeah, so he'll have another. Why is Squirrel's key ability Charisma? Shouldn't it be Dexterity? Ranger.
I would think.
Yeah, I mean he's got a really good charisma. I don't know. Maybe he just made it whatever his highest score was. I don't know.
We did.
Key ability is Strength or Dexterity. So I'm gonna change that. We'll talk to him about it, but that's fine. I don't know what he uses his class DC for anyway. But yeah. He's an animal whisperer. I don't think that changes it, but anyway, we'll look into it. But yeah, so he's got to finish leveling. It looks like Puck also didn't level, so they need to get that done before the weekend, and then Gerhardt or Fumbar if they come. All right.
Luckily, leveling is pretty easy now, to be honest. You just fill the blanks. Here's your character sheet, fill in the blanks.
Pretty much. Jeff was surprised when he was looking at doing it for Franco. He's like, so all I get is like the hit points. It's not even like a roll or an average. I just get the hit points. And I have a class feat and a general feat. And like, yeah, that's it.
That's it. Done.
Like some other classes are a little different. Like I think rogues get skills faster and stuff like that. But like all the classes that they have here, the swashbuckler, the ranger, and all of them, they all get stuff. They just get the same thing.
Mm.
And so Devon Knight released these animated tokens for the Goblin pack that I have, and this was the only one of the bunch that was actually in it. Like, there's a couple other ones, but I guess Karen's is also like that. But Karen has actually played.
I remember the first time you pulled out the animated miniatures in the other campaign. I think it was when they got to the last sacrificial
Yeah, one of the
altar.
last ones. Some of the
They're going.
paladins. Yeah.
I think it was your brother. Hey, I want an animated one. I think the
Yeah.
first thing they noticed, you pulled that map up, and instantly it's like, hey, wait a minute, I want
Yeah.
an animated miniature.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of them, but like I said, it's not all of them, which is too sad. Specifically, like I was hoping because the even token is in the same batch as this guy. I can tell they look a lot alike, but they didn't make this one. They didn't make this soldier. So I do have a bunch though. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. So yeah, we can talk islands. I was also going to start statting up some more of Circe's island, but I guess I could do that in the next one if you want to talk islands now. What do you got?
Oh, either you gotta, yeah, we probably do a little search. You got the beach landing, so basically
Yeah.
that's probably your not next venture, but the venture after. So you got 3 weeks till then.
Yes, I mean, ideally, if everything goes well and we get through everything we get through, then yes, the next the session after the next one in 3 weeks, like you're saying, will be, this one basically. We narrate the Odyssey part happening.
So again, if you break it up into 4 parts, your first 45 minutes roughly be the mop up after you take the temple, reinforcements show up, you guys get in a boat, the almighty fingers touch.
Exactly.
And then the next 45 minutes is your 45 minutes would be this fight.
And
this encounter, and then from here, this one might be an easy encounter now that they're second level.
Well, I wanted it to be trivial. I want it to be more annoying than like the pug wumpy unluck aura. I want it to be just kind of annoying. But yeah,
how long does it last? Just rounds?
That's a great question. I thought it was forever if you failed it. Become unlucky DC for 16 will save. They roll twice. If you make it, you're immune. On a failure, the creature roll twice as long as it's within the aura. So forever if you're within 20 feet of it.
Or maybe the guy with the ring or the amulet has it longer.
Yeah. he starts emitting it.
Now what's going to keep them from taking the amulet and shoving in a bag?
Well, I think it's I forgot.
It keeps appearing, or does it appear around somebody's neck? You wake up and the amulet's on your neck in the morning.
Maybe. I think you were saying
because otherwise,
good.
Otherwise they're going to shove it around and everything. And where's their other amulet if they have an amulet? Oh wait, where's my other necklace? It's like, oh, don't ask.
Yeah.
It's
we were talking
about
random
reappearing amulet that appears everywhere.
Yeah.
Each person has to wear it. So at the beginning of the day, when you know who your players are, roll your D4, D3, D5.
Exactly.
Surprise, you have an amulet today.
It's yours, and you can't get rid of it. Yeah. And even if it's not on, like we were talking before, like maybe you make it so that if it's on your neck, the effects are weakened or something like that. But I don't know how, it seems like that'd be a little difficult to kind of explain. Like, I don't know how you would explain that to people in a way that's not like completely gamist.
Like for what? For doing what?
For like basically, if you wanted to make a rule or something, like if you're wearing the amulet on your neck, whatever bad things are happening happen less. I thought we were talking about something to that effect.
Oh, you didn't have to have it less. Just yeah, if you are random little curses that come up, each person gets them. The person wearing the necklace for that day, at the end of the day, you just tell them, it's like, hey, you're wearing the necklace today. It's like, what? I didn't put it on. It's on.
Oh, yeah,
and at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it says your hiccups ended, or your sneezing all day long ended, or your stutter you had ends at the end of the day. But the other people suddenly pick one up, and so they keep it for the day until they say, it's like, wait, let me wear that amulet. It's like he puts it on. It's like, all right, at the end of the day, your amulet just went away. The amulet, or your whatever, your minor affliction is gone now. So when they wear it, it's going to be a fight over, because if you build them up where they each have one,
now they want to wear them.
Yeah, they all have one affliction going that just won't go away. But as soon as he puts the amulet on, you tell him, hey, at the end of by the way, at the end of today, your hiccups are gone.
The scale of this image is kind of bugging me. I'm trying to make this. This is like the Circe villa I got. I subscribe to Tom Cartos. Like I am officially his Patreon. This is his map. I guess he doesn't put his logo on the actual Patreon ones, which is kind of odd. But I saw like that beach that we just looked at is him as well. And when I was looking for like Greek and Roman villas, I saw like 2 or 3 of them pop up with his name. So I decided I would just become a patron immediately because it just made sense. I can't get the scale of this to work right though. It seems rather annoying. 72? That seems too small. Maybe 80 pixels? Oh yeah, I accidentally hit enter, so now I can do this again. I also wish it could drag with the mouse when you're moving the grid. It doesn't let you do that in Foundry.
Is it arrow keys? Is that
Yeah, you gotta do the arrow keys.
Okay.
Or you can just type the thing, but yeah, like I want to make it work. That's too small. Yeah, I need to be doubling it. So it's supposed to be around 150. It's got to be.
So that'd be 10-foot wide hallways.
That feels mostly right. That feels.
That's pretty big. Now you're 5-foot hallways.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I guess you're right. So yeah, so I don't know. I can't make it work exactly, but I'm just gonna go with something sane. In any event, another work on
80 looked about. I thought your 80 looked about right.
Yeah, we'll go with
10-foot wide seems about right.
All right. So closing that. So basically, I found this villa. I kind of like it. I should probably rotate it horizontally because I show more of the horizontal map. Like it looks kind of silly to have to zoom in like that. So I might rotate it horizontally. I don't think I can easily do that in Foundry, sadly. I'll just
if you not in Foundry, if you take it outside, Paint does a nice job of rotating 90 degrees.
I think just window picture view or whatever it is these days now officially does that. It's like,
spins it around once.
Yeah, it'll do that for you. Let me see if I do that. I'm also curious if I change it live, like if I change the background of this Greek Villa day and I open it with photos and I rotate. Just match.
So where are you gonna have Circe in this one? Where's she gonna be hanging out?
Well, so I think first she's gonna meet them somewhere else. So if I save that and close it, what? It's not gonna let me do that. It's not gonna be that easy. Does it like auto fix itself? Does it know that I did that? Apparently not. So I change this to the one with the roof, and I hit OK, and I change this. Let's see if this plays nice with me. Duh. I rotated it. I'm looking at the actual file here that I have rotated, so that's I guess I can copy and see if I can make it go with that. And now if I change this to this R one I created, so I can play this? Nope. Maybe it doesn't actually rotate it then. Maybe it's some weird doesn't actually rotate the image. It's kind of annoying. Alright. Make that work. We'll make this happen.
Alright. Well, let's try some ideas about Circe.
Yeah, let's talk. What you got?
Yeah, let's think about it. Alright, you want her to be an alchemist. She's gonna they're gonna find her by hiking up the trail after the boat.
Correct. Yeah, they're gonna
single trail, they're gonna come up, and what are they gonna encounter?
I want them to see a hold on. I want them
first
to
pass a lot of animals on the way.
Yeah, definitely want to have a bunch of animals there, and I want them to be like oddly calm animals.
Calm animals with very cognizant of their them walking by. They're actually paying attention to them, but
yeah, but giving
make them seem like maybe they're intelligent animals, or maybe they're spying on them. Who knows? But
yeah, I was trying.
The feeling these animals are definitely paying attention to them. They're not not your everyday barn, not your everyday farm animals. These ones seem to be more. These seem to be smarter. They're aware of you passing by.
I was wondering. I'm trying to remember in the actual Odyssey. I don't remember. Like, do they retain their intelligence? I didn't remember that.
I would, in your situation, I wouldn't. Otherwise,
exactly, it's going to be a little awkward.
That's a whole nother role playing game you're going to have. Remember, this is the the Mosque Odyssey. It's a little different.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, go for it. Okay, now we got that, and now it's rotated, so I can fit more of it on the screen at once. And I'll go back to my 80 pixels. And I'll clean it up later, but for now, do it and save it. All right. So yeah, so basically this is the villa, and again, Tom Cartos, I went and got it, and like in the previous session, I found like this they had a ruined version of this, and then when you actually pay for his stuff, he gives you a bunch of different versions, including this one, which is like, you know, it's nicer. So I was figuring that I would do the walls. I would actually set up so you have to use vision in here, and we can do some cool lighting effects and stuff like that. And I think she should have like a private room. And again, she's an alchemist, so I was thinking what looks more like a lab. And I don't really know. It's like this study, I guess, would be the lab, even though it doesn't really look like a lab.
How about the upper left-hand room?
Upper left. This one over here, like this looks like a storeroom.
Kind of looks like a storeroom. Past the that room. Kind of looks like maybe pots or something.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that could be it.
And her torture chamber for prisoners.
She doesn't torture people. What are you talking about? She's a
gotta turn into animals.
person.
They don't turn the animals right away, or maybe
She's
they do.
a wonderful person.
She can be.
Yeah, so like, see, that's a kitchen. This is kind of like a dining room. This looks like a nice guest bedroom. This looks like her bedroom. So yeah, I'm thinking this office is kind of it.
Yeah. Where are you gonna have her host everybody? So when she first meets him, I see her as like a person sitting up, not on a throne, but definitely sitting in a position of authority as they come in to meet her.
Yeah, and there's not really a place for that. So I mean, there's a bench here, but it's not really.
The bench outside in the middle could work. You could put her out
she's
there, and she's just more of a nature creature that she just kind of sits out there.
Yeah, I wish there was like a fountain in the middle. Maybe I could add one. I could just add a fountain.
Yeah, you could add a fountain pretty easily, but
fountain in the middle.
Or maybe just a chair or two, maybe a throne.
Yeah. Find
something like that. Something where she definitely has like the position of authority.
Yep.
All right. So when they meet her, they're gonna be she's gonna be forthcoming and say, "Oh, welcome to my. Do you need a place to stay?" They're gonna ask about towns. Hey, is there any towns nearby or anything else?
Good goodness, no.
Towns? No. This is my island. Only I am here. Why would we need a town? We have everything we need here.
Pretty much, yeah. I also gotta come up with another name for Circe. I need to have another name. And look, the avatar I chose is like an actual Nixie. Like she's standing in the water. Like that's I need to work on a token too. I need to fix that.
Yeah. She radiates sonic waves around her body.
Yeah,
watch out.
It's a whole thing.
It's an aura.
All right. So maybe I'll just look for like L, or if you do F, you get females with Devon Knights tokens.
Nice.
Most of them anyway. Go big.
So she inviting, maybe we'll have a feast when they show up. So we'll have a feast for you. Thanks for coming. We'll have a feast tonight in Represented.
Yeah.
How many other people besides her are going to be here? Is it just her?
I was thinking it was either just her, or maybe she would have some like a husband and a wife or something like that. She's like in a polyamorous kind of thing. I didn't really decide.
Servants?
Yeah.
Do you have servants? People serving her?
I guess, right? Because is she gonna go to the kitchen?
Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she turn them into animals then?
It's a good question.
That's why I'm throwing these questions.
Maybe they're useful as non-animals.
Yeah, maybe they really were a butler, or maybe they were the animals and she turned them into the butler and the.
She reversed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. Nothing's jumping out at me as being Circe. I wanted her to be like somewhat visibly fey, but I guess, I mean, they could be servants. It's a good question why they don't do it though. Why
if you have servants, she just her by herself would seem really odd.
Yes, which also isn't bad. Seeming odd.
It's not. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like whichever way you're going to run with it, it's fine.
Oh yes, this lady
if
with
she's
the
by
goat.
herself. If she has no servants, she seems like she'd have servants. She's not the one who's going to do the cooking herself, so you got to have somebody here.
Agreed.
Invisible stalkers, or visible stalkers, unseen servants.
Invisible stalkers.
It's not visible stalkers. Unseen servants walking around that do all the things and everything that. Maybe they're all the cooks and everything. They're carrying everything around. Maybe she has some kind of mass amount of those things running around.
That could be pretty cool. Just like a fish person.
She would definitely not do the cooking and all that herself. She'd magic it up first.
I completely agree. cool animated. Oh, I guess I can't even see the animated ones. That's kind of. Can I not see? Why can't I see them? It's kind of odd.
So if she has at least some kind of servants for her, she has a lot of bedrooms, so that she invites them to stay. If they ask about other things on, does she tell them right away that she's the only one on island? It's like, no, worry about that tomorrow or something. Or worry about that in the future. Don't worry about that today.
Why wouldn't she just tell them? Like why? I don't think why
She
she.
be mysterious. She could
I
be.
guess could just be
It's like,
mysterious.
no, yeah. It's like, all right, it's like, rest up. Maybe she gives them a. Sirs, talk about dinner. So I guess you're hunting out for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it gives them a place to stay. I'm sure they're going to be beat up and pretty rough after crash landing on the shore, or maybe they're tired. Who knows? Last time they slept on the beach.
Yep,
They're
exactly.
exhausted.
They
Exhausted
woke,
for swimming. So
they washed up.
have them rest up, and we'll eat. And eat when you guys wake. We'll have food.
Yeah, and it'll just be prepared. It'll be mysteriously prepared, and you don't see anything. I kind of like the idea of there not being servants. Just again, it's weird. I like that.
Could be magic. Magic always throws people off if you have magical servants that you can summon and have them come and go.
That's true. And if she's like a naiad queen, I don't know if she has like abilities. I guess I should link this to the link to actor data. And change this to actor data token. Boom.
So you have a dining room is.
There's one down here. It's not that big.
No, there's not a lot of people. Just them and her.
That's true.
don't need a whole lot. So her and 5 characters at most. So it looks pretty good.
Boom, boom, boom.
And then where's the food's already there waiting for when they get there?
Yeah, I think like you're saying, maybe she tells them to rest up first, and they can.
Rest up. The food appears in the room. Maybe there's wine, fine wine on. Maybe that's how she thinks. But the wine says she has them grab the wine and pour the wine for her. Say, would you be kind enough to get me the wine? Pour me some wine.
That'd be nice. Yeah, I like that. I like it.
What are the characters going to ask? All right, where are we? Where the hell am I? Is there any other boats? Is there a dock? Is there a city? Is there?
No.
Are you the only person here?
Yes.
And her animals.
Yeah, just me and my animals. Yes.
And my animals. And so they have to go out and hunt the animal for dinner. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, that's the gimmick. I want them to be here for hopefully a couple of days. There'd probably be some role playing involved, and then eventually she would send them off. Like we're out of fresh meat. We need to go get some and send them off. And like there's pigs and there's goats and stuff like that. And I want to have them do a pig chase. And I've already kind of in my mind there's this picture from one of the Weeby Goblins books that I need in my life basically. Let me see if I can do it.
I played Weeby Goblins too.
I'm not sure which number it is, but let me see if I can find it. I think I already saved it in my folder somewhere. If I go to image and I go to browse, and I go to I think I put it in Odyssey handouts.
Is that the one where we played it before we did Rise of the Rune Lords? Played the Weeby Goblins and yeah.
I forget which one this is from. But yeah, like this.
I do remember the picture. Yeah,
this is the picture of the goblin pig chase. So like I don't really want to do it as a combat thing. I was thinking I'd do it as like another skill encounter.
A skill check, yeah, definitely.
But change it up a little bit from how it's working. And
he's the grease pig.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I really like the idea of just having it be a skill check, have people make their rolls, see how get X successes before Y failures. I mean, but again, I want them to catch the pig. That's part of the gimmick is they have to catch the pig or the goat or whatever they're going after, and they have to realize
has fancy earrings or fancy tattoos.
Exactly, correct. They need to know it. It needs to be important. It needs
has a healer's kit on its side.
Yeah, it's got Tanda's.
It's got her healing kit. You recognize this healing kit? You tried to steal it once.
That's really lazy of them that they left the healer's kit on. It's a little on the nose.
Maybe it's so big that it fits around like a middle that there's like she's wearing some kind of like girdle, except it says this thing, it's hanging underneath her. It's like, oh, it's a healing kit on her. It doesn't come off because she's too big.
Yes. Stuck around her. Just let her cut her loose. Go ahead.
You're gonna have to cut it off. You're gonna get this one off of her.
Yeah. So yeah, so again, part of my brain is thinking that I shouldn't have this map out because once you put like a top-down grid-based map, people start snapping into combat mode. So like I want to have Circe talk to them and like, oh, let's have dinner. But I feel like showing them this map is gonna start them thinking like, okay, so how do we start fighting Circe? Like where do we jump her? Or what? Like their brains start going there.
Just tell her no. You can't roll initiative. You can't roll initiative. You can't roll initiative. You were
No,
never allowed to roll initiative.
that's a little hard. It's a little hard.
But I want it. Nope, nope, nope. No initiatives yet. We're not ready.
Yeah, sorry. This actually looks like a little bit of a fountain or like a pool of something.
True.
Maybe wash your hands there or something. I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, again, I want Circe again. I want her to. She's definitely more powerful. Like she's definitely like a huge problem if they actually try to fight her. But I also want her to kind of not bother fighting them. I don't want to do that too many times though. We already did that with the fisherman. Like the fisherman was kind of just like he ignored getting shot with a crossbow. And talk to them.
Well, that's going to happen. These are islands. Are definitely going to have some interesting things. So they got to think in these islands. Maybe everything shouldn't be combat.
We should probably just start stressing that. And I'd like,
They're going to figure it out pretty quick. Yeah. It's the only house they come up to. So, all right. So they're going to come to the front doors of this house, or they're going to meet her outside somewhere.
I think they're going to meet her outside because if they walk into the house, then again, it seems like they're busting into it. It seems like it's a problem. Like,
now you got to fight. If you do that, it's a fight.
Yeah, so I agree. So we'd have to have a scene outside, and we'd have something, yeah, like I'd have just some kind of like a handout, like not a combat map, where they meet. Like she walks up to them, seeing them wandering around the woods.
Or maybe after they've had the fight with pug whatever they were,
yeah.
pug bumpies. Says, "Oh, looks like you're still cursed by the pug bumpy," and somehow she can wave it off or something. Or
yeah, that's a cool one. I hope they
like
didn't.
yeah, she sees
much,
it. Oh, you got. I see you had a fight with the indigenous species or whatever you want to call them.
You got that pub.
So you had a fight with the locals. Oh, I'm sorry. They are a nuisance, aren't they?
Yeah,
they know to stay away. They know to stay away from my villa.
Yeah, they stay to the shore. Yeah, they know to stay away.
They know not to come to the villa. They take their pickings from the shoreline.
Yeah, and then maybe they find her like with some of the animals. Like maybe she's hanging out with like a panther or something, like petting a panther, kind of stressing the fact that like, hey, these are really calm animals, and she's, if not in control of them, at least friendly with them.
Be a little tricky though. She's friends with the animals, and she sends them out to get an animal later. How's that gonna play out?
Oh, I'm getting a pig. Go get a pig. I'm not telling you to go kill the panther.
Yeah, true. She's hanging out with the panther. She's not hanging out with the pigs. That's true.
Exactly. Well,
all right. I'm okay. That works.
Yeah. But yeah, she's like, the pig, like the animals aren't afraid of her, I guess. So that kind of goes back into the fact that they lost their intelligence, or at least somewhat.
As a dude.
Exactly.
Feeble-minded, in addition to being transformed.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So
they have a above average animal intelligence, about a 3-ish.
Yeah.
They have intelligence behind the eyes, but just shows nothing about it. They're definitely aware. They look at the people. They're aware of people, but they don't seem to react. They just don't react quite as animals would react somehow.
Yeah, agreed. I think.
All right, so she leads them back and then says, "Oh, you guys must be tired." And so, all right, you guys can freshen yourselves up. You got the lavatory right there.
Yeah, there's an actual bathroom.
Yeah, there's the bathroom, and then there's you got a bedroom somewhere that they can sleep, where they got multiple cots or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's this one, and then like I think these are supposed to be little beds. They look like they don't have a mattress, or I don't know what this is about.
They look like torture chambers.
I know, right? It looks like little rack. Maybe like wicker, because like this looks like a wicker chair, I guess. So it's like a wicker bed. It's
pretty big for a wicker chair, a wicker lounge, but nobody there's nothing to sit, nothing to that wicker chair. There is a big in a tiny room.
Well, I mean, I think that this is a wicker chair, and the other thing, I guess the stream's a little behind. Like in one of the bedrooms, there's like a wicker chair. Oh no, I see.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think it's like a wicker bed. I don't know. I've never seen a wicker bed before, but maybe it is.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
I could just find some other art or something and throw like a mattress on there or something. It doesn't much matter. But again, like there are enough bedrooms. Like if there's only like a couple goblins, they could just share rooms, like a whatever.
So which one's hers that they don't go to?
This one over here.
She tell them, and then therefore you do not go into that room. That's my room.
Yeah, and then this room down here where it's like there's a bunch of scrolls. We could kind of hand wave it that they're not so much scrolls as like alchemy supplies and alchemical recipes and stuff like that. So this is like her
Okay.
lab, even though it kind of looks like a
A
office.
gambling hall,
Office.
like an office, I guess.
Yeah, we can hand wave it. I can also like again I can go find some alchemical art like assets and kind of just add them to the room, change it up a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, like stay out of my room and like this door will be locked, obviously, or whatever we do.
So the 3 doors at the east end of the mansion are maybe out of the 3 rooms.
Yeah.
The rest of the mansion,
this is like a big bathroom, right? A big pool or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Where she does her bathing.
Yep.
Naiads have any special bathing properties? Do they change when they're in the water? Do they?
I don't believe so.
Do they have to get in the water every so often? Yeah.
That's something I should know.
Not off the top of your head. That's
yeah, I mean, by the time we get there.
He just throwing curves at
water
you right
healing.
At the start.
They heal 28 hit points every 10 minutes when they're in a body of water. So that's only like out of combat. That can blind people.
Yeah, I know.
Change shape.
Was that what got?
That's what got Vors. Yeah,
that's what got Vors. Yeah.
I think it was a nymph. I don't think it was a naiad, but it was the same.
Well, cousins. We're talking cousins now.
Pretty much. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. They can heal really quickly if they're in water. So maybe like at the end of every day, she goes and she hangs out in that pool and like refreshes herself.
There's not too many people that cross over between the 2 campaigns now.
Just Jeff. Yeah,
that's
and
true.
Sure, I play sometimes too, and like again, evens out for.
Hopefully, if you can entice Chris.
That's I should.
Chris should be pretty easy. It's it's like the other campaigns on hold. Look, you're only still playing 1 game a week. Hey, when the other game starts back up, you can easily exit out. That's the idea of this whole campaign.
That's the gimmick. So yeah,
that is how this works.
I will poke him. I'm sure I can get him. I'm not sure. Maybe he likes his Saturdays being free again, but we'll find out.
Where are you guys usually playing on? I know I've heard different times. I've heard Michael say, "Yeah, it's the first time I played on a Friday in a long time," or he played on Mondays, and you guys had all sorts of crazy.
Yeah. The other group was basically like we use like this scheduling tool called Doodle, and like Jeff would post one and say like, "Well, when the hell can everybody play?" And people would like check which one they could play, and eventually we'd find one where like most of us could do it, and that just made it happen. So yeah, we played like any day of the week. We played like some Monday nights. Whenever it worked, but that's
you always 9 to midnight your time.
Yes, always 9 to midnight my time because that's just when I could do it. And then Nas moved across the country. He used to be in New York, and now he's in California. So now it's 6 to 9 his time, which is rougher.
Yeah, it's mine is 4:30 to 7:30.
Your local time?
Yeah, which is 7:30 to 10:30 their time.
Okay.
I got about half from East Coast. There's a couple of us West Coast. One guy was Canadian, was from Saskatchewan. Now he's in British Columbia. But most of them, I got 2 Ohios, 1 Wisconsin, 1 Tennessee, and 1 Florida.
Okay. All over the place.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
A lot of accents in that group, probably.
Surprisingly, no.
Oh.
maybe me, the Californian. I got the weird accent comparison.
Right.
I need to increase my repertoire of accents if I want to DM more. I only have my repertoire is about 6. I can do about 6 accents, and that's the same ones every time.
I saw some meme on one of the like subreddits where it's like I have 3 voices, like really bad Irish guy, me but in a higher voice. It's like that's about right.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's about right.
Jennifer was one of my favorites of yours.
Really bad Russian accents.
Exactly.
I slip in and out of really poorly. Yeah, that was a fun one. That got
an original Rosalago before you got the voice amp.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and then I got the voice changer, and I kind of got lazy with it.
And it sounded the same.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah, that voice mod tool is pretty cool. I have to set it back up again. It hasn't worked for a while for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you had it, and it was pretty good. So I remember that's one of the first things I think you added on that you were using.
Yeah, that was I liked it a lot, and all the sound effects. I don't have them working anymore. Like
and your music, the only bad music I guess is when you said it wasn't even you. It was Shorog. It's that Mission Impossible. it got on it, and it's a short song,
Yeah.
and you guys had like I swear it was an hour and a half fight, and it played 30 times in there. It was oh my gosh,
Yeah, that was
please
yeah,
no more.
that was a bit unbearable. Yeah, I wasn't
That
thinking of
was the
that.
that's the one I hear. There's like here it comes. My wife does have a complaint about one of your episodes.
Oh
I don't
dear.
remember this, but Nas had a time where every time he unbooted his computer, it made this god awful screech.
I don't recall that, but I don't
It
know
was
that.
about episode 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there.
Okay.
He had some thing, and it just made this terrible noise, and it's rather jarring in the middle of the night.
Good to know. Okay.
It's surprised, and the sound comes on, and
Every
it's
time he unmutes it, does it? That's kind of
it
unbearable.
did for it happened maybe 4 times total.
Sorry.
No, it just as a heads up, it's on there.
All right.
So we
Fair
were,
enough.
whoo.
Technology, man, it gets us all
Oh,
the time.
always. But I could say 99.9% of the time, you guys are awesome.
There's also like Nas for a while was playing with like whatever Apple headphones, like the ones that had the actual, not the AirPods, the ones that had the neck piece that has like little microphone on your chest or whatever. And like he would like open chips or I don't know what he would do. Like he would basically just destroy our ears with it.
I have one of my players most of the time goes into the kitchen and cooks himself dinner
Mm-hmm.
and forgets to shut his mic off.
He's like doing the
And so
microwave
we
and
hear
everything.
clunk, 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 clunk because he's stirring up something. Or, and it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, dude, your mic is open.
Yeah, you've had some of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I realize in my setup right now, I can't really mute my mic.
Why not? Oh, because it's all the way over there.
It's over here. Can't
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like, again, I'm trying to set it up. I'm just while we're talking, I'm just kind of drawing the
Yeah, no, I
the
see
foundry
what exactly
walls
what you're doing.
because I
And
want
so
to make it so that
they can't see.
yeah, they can't see, like they won't know what's in the secret rooms, and also I want to do cool lighting effects. Like they have all these windows, so I'm trying to like leave the windows open so I can put like lights inside.
Yeah,
So they can
like
see
what,
through it.
like the way you set up for the mayor's office.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
he-
that was, it gave you the idea. That was pretty awesome.
it was. I think it was a blue bugbear. I have to look it up, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a pretty good deal. They didn't do it though. That's on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, well, so's the farm. And
Yeah,
so's
the
apple.
farm.
So's the apple throwing.
My apple throwers. Maybe someone can throw an apple at him. You said someone will throw a rock. Maybe someone will throw an apple at him.
An apple. Somebody cranks an apple at him in the middle of the.
Like I'm not gonna have this go wasted.
And then they say, no, don't be throwing. Don't attack them. Don't provoke them. They are looking
Throws
for an
an
excuse to
apple.
kill us.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so
All
like
right.
in addition though, I do also want to have like
All right. So what's their motivation here at Circe? If they're looking, there's no place to buy a ship.
correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Supplies to build a ship. Is there going to be trees? Is there a forest? Does she have
Yes.
tools?
Yes, there will be trees.
maybe-
She will have tools, or they'll be able to make tools, or maybe tools wash up on the ship. Like I want there to be
Tools up,
enough
yeah.
ship parts and whatever else they really need.
At least get them to the next. It's just good enough to float this raft you just built. Good enough to make it to the next island. Maybe there's a city there.
Correct. Yeah. So the gimmick is like basically they're going to be here for a while and they're going to stay here and they're going to eat and they're going to have this whole realization that oh my god these are people like we've been eating people this whole time and then do we care and also who are these people like and is Apilius here and then which NPCs they care about and then they have to have a conversation with Circe and I'm not sure how I really want that to go. That's kind of a problem I'm having. Like because she doesn't want to turn them back or I don't know why she would.
That's the real thing. Why would I give them back to you? They're mine.
Yeah.
They're mine now.
Exactly.
They're safer. They're safe here. Well, except for the pig.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not so safe here. You're safe until I get hungry. So, what would convince her? I need meat. You would need to go get me meat. Go to
Right.
go to the lizard island.
Bring me a bunch of lizard meat.
Bring me some lizard meat.
Yeah. Maybe.
Why? Yeah, we gotta. What's her philosophy? They're mine now. Why would I give them up? They're mine. I earned them.
Yep. Exactly, and then again, what does the party care about that? Like, do they want to rescue all their NPCs, or do they want to rescue certain NPCs? Do they find the panther that looks like a Pilius or whatever it is?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. They have to figure that out.
So then, what are they going to do when they bring him back? Are those guys going to jump on their boat? Phillies is going to take over their boat they built.
Well, see, that's why I don't want a Pilius to come back. I think someone was saying they like the idea about Pilius coming back, but I don't want him to come back specifically because of that. Like, because I don't
No,
want
the
him to be
panther. All right, the
commander
panther's
taking
mine.
back.
The panther's mine. I keep the panther. Then.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him.
Yeah,
He's very obedient. He follows instructions well.
exactly. Like that just has to be the way. That like yeah.
Or he's
but,
mine
like,
for now. Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually we can talk and I'll give him back. He's mine for now. Or you have to bring me something bigger.
something better. Yeah.
Something better for that one.
But yeah,
Is she gonna mention the amulet? Does she know about this amulet?
I think she should, or at least she should. Maybe she looks at it weird or something like that.
Yeah, or whoever's wearing it that day, like you sit you you sit outside or you sit somewhere else. I can't look at you when you're I can't I don't like you the aura about you. I don't care to look at you. So don't sit across from the table from me.
Yeah, something like that for sure. Definitely, I want her to acknowledge the amulet, or at least hint at the person who has the amulet that it's a problem. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's got to happen. Because again, this is the Odyssey.
She will, and if they ask her to identify it, she will not touch it.
Yes.
Like, no. Do no. Get that away from me.
Yes.
I have no interest in that. I have no interest in that accursed thing.
And yeah, I guess I should make this as 2 separate doors now that I'm looking at it. I guess it doesn't much matter. Let's do it as 1. Okay. But yeah.
So they're gonna have to build boats.
They're gonna have to build a boat.
Yeah. So how about the whole alchemical thing? Why she's become more and more fascinated as each day goes by. She gets him drunker and drunker each day. Maybe
correct.
the alcohol
Yeah.
tastes
she's
like
trying.
stronger and stronger. Each day that alcohol it's walloping you now. It's like it was strong the first day. Now it's like it's even stronger. So you're really feeling it today. Like third day, holy cow, this is like 80 proof now. What is going on here? This is not like a normal wine. This is just some kind of crazy fortified. And she says, maybe does she make reference to the wine? You know, maybe it's like, tell me about the wine. Did you like the wine? Does it taste fine? Do you feel, it's like, why does it feel different to you? Do you feel different? Does it, it's like, so that they get paranoid. Maybe they stop drinking the wine.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't, if you don't have dinner with me or don't drink my wine, maybe I don't let you stay here. Or maybe you must you must drink and dine with me. This is the deal. You have to. You need to stay with me, and you need to eat and drink with me.
Nothing creepy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have many guests. You must stay. You are my guests.
And again, and she's like genuinely curious and interested in them. Like she,
especially when they are not.
Exactly, they're not turned into animals or whatever. So it's very.
It's almost like for posterity. Please tell me how how does this make you feel? Like from Princess Bride. How does this make you feel? This is. I'm very interested.
Yeah, definitely. There's candles here, so I'll put it there. Yeah, I like, again, I want to use the night. I want an excuse to use the night settings. So we're going with this.
It's all good. Keep throwing ideas out there and see.
Yeah. Just very much like how they look. Yeah, whatever, just put them in the middle there a little bit.
So when they do figure out that these animals are people, now she doesn't want to give them up. How are they going to convince her? What is her motivation?
Yeah, so that's what I don't know what they could possibly offer. That's one of the things like I've been struggling with. Like, where do I want that to go? Like, what I don't really have a good answer for that.
What happened? What happened in the actual Odyssey? I'm trying to remember that one myself.
Right? You think I would know that, basing an entire adventure on this.
Guess we both have some homework then, don't we?
Yeah, I guess we have to go both read that section of the Odyssey.
I keep reading the Cliff Notes version. I've read a couple little short things. Oh yeah, okay. I sort of remember that. That makes sense.
How do they get out? They definitely get out, but not everybody does. Like I think not everybody, like Apilius is not turned into, or Odysseus isn't turned into an animal. I think he just realizes a bunch of his men have been, and I think he convinces her to turn some back. I don't think all do, but I don't remember if she falls in love with him. It seems like everybody falls in love with him, which is just kind of like a bullshit thing. But like, yeah, like if I feel like she falls in love with him and he stays there for like a year or something. I don't think it's like he's not there for like a week. He's there for a long time. And then eventually he builds a boat and leaves and takes some of his men back. But I'm pretty sure like a bunch of them, I don't remember. A bunch of them are just stuck on him.
Well, this is our own version, so we can
exactly.
do
We can do whatever we want.
But why? All right. So she just want to give the people. So you'd have to give her something she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they have to go to an island and capture. Maybe give her the animalistic island that has intelligent animals on it. It's like, all right, go to the island.
Mm-hmm.
You need to capture me a cat, a dog, and a pig.
I want the intelligence.
But then it doesn't tell them that the island is intelligent biped humans on the island. With just animal feeders. As I call it, the free island. Bring me a cat. Like, all right, I need a pig, a cat, and a dog. Go get me a pig, a cat, and a dog from that island. And maybe these are intelligent suddenly now. Now you got to deal with a whole nother issue.
All right. So yeah, so I'll play around with this, but the gimmick is that again, I want them to stay here a couple of days, so I want to use the day and night effects, have it do the cool it's transitioning and stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll do something with that, and
it's gonna be a lot of NPC time, a lot of role playing for them.
Yeah, I think this will be a role playing heavy session. Again, there's the small fight in the beginning, and then there's chatting, talking, seeing some animals, and then they have to go get the pig.
Capture the pig.
Yeah, and I assume they're not going to fight Circe. I don't know.
If she doesn't want to give it the people, they may decide the only way to. If they kill Circe, maybe they can get him back.
Maybe,
or maybe she said, they say, and maybe she just tells him outright, only I can change him back.
Or they break into her room and they try to.
Only I can change it back, but I choose not to.
If they break into her room and steal the recipes, and they have an alchemist or Even's a cook, but I guess Even might not be there.
Anybody read
Sylvan or whatever it is? Yeah.
Sylvan or whatever it's going to be. Yeah, Sylvan. Yeah.
If it's like if it's an arcane elixir though, or whatever, it might be rudimentarily in it. Like this, you figure out the symbols and you can make it work or something.
I know back in the first edition there was an issue by trying to read. Well, you already have an alchemist in the party, hopefully.
Funbar is. I don't know if he's going to be playing, but Funbar is there.
I always remember there's an issue in first edition whether who could read magic books and who could read formulas.
Yeah.
It seemed like alchemists could read mages' formulas, but mages couldn't read alchemist formulas or something like that.
Oh yeah, in Pathfinder 1, that's right. That was a thing. I remember that. Yeah, that definitely happened because.
And I have no idea in Pathfinder 2.
Yeah, I don't.
Pathfinder 1, that was an issue.
That's a good point. You can always just hand wave that away though if it's relevant in your game. But I definitely remember that Nas was playing an alchemist and he was taking he had me make scrolls on my wizard and was learning alchemist spells. I think that's how that worked, not the other way around. I couldn't get his formulas, but he could look at magic and go, "Oh yeah, I could make that with some chemicals. Why not? Yeah, that seems easy. Yeah, mage armor, I get that."
All right, so. What would Circe need for her to give him back the animals or to change the animals? Maybe she could change it back, but she says they're still mine. Or maybe they're still feeble-minded, or they're like just human. They're not the human versions again, or they're dwarves, whatever version.
Yeah.
But maybe they still have animal intelligence.
I mean, if you wanted to mess with them, that's one way to do it.
It's like, well, yeah, you didn't. You said I turned him back. I did turn him back. It's like, what about their intelligence? That wasn't part of the deal.
Wasn't part of the deal. Yeah, so I don't know. I really have to just think about what does she want out of it? Like, did she want to mess with them? I don't know why.
It's almost like she almost has she's so powerful she doesn't even understand what she's doing. Maybe she's just.
What do you mean? I turned them back. I don't understand.
I turned them back. Yeah, isn't that you asked? But they're still dumb. It's like, Well, yeah, you didn't ask. You didn't ask him to be intelligent again. That's a whole separate that's a separate recipe. I can't do both. You asked me to turn him back.
Yeah. But we gotta figure out why she would turn them back, or what the party could
She has to
offer.
be something. She needs something she can't get. If she doesn't have a boat, so she's
Yeah,
island locked. So anything from other islands that she needs. So she needs almost
agreed.
like somebody to do the trade for them.
Hmm.
Maybe she asks them to do exactly that. I could use when you guys finish your boat.
Hmm.
Maybe she'll give it her Naiad blessing or something, and on your boat, then I need you to be my messenger, and I need you to do favors for me. I need you to go places.
Yep.
And when you acquire certain things, that whatever she says, I need you to bring them back to me. Doesn't have to be right away. And then, I can then, I will then give your people back. So they have a purpose. Maybe they don't get the people back right away.
Yep.
So she, after adventuring, they're like fifth level. They come back and they're still unintelligent. They get them back. I didn't get back the intelligence. What? I turned them back for you. Isn't that what you wanted all along? It's like, yeah, but you didn't ask for their
The
intelligence back.
brains,
You
yeah, I
just
didn't. Yeah, the brains are.
no.
That's an idea.
That's a separate. You understand that's a separate component, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, you're gonna need to go to Dinosaur Island for that one. You want them smart, you're gonna
Yeah,
go to Dinosaur Island. But yeah,
yeah.
I think kind of cementing her as a quest giver, like basically, if you want these people back, you're gonna have to do these. That's like a really
Yeah.
easy, low hanging fruit for like, if you care at all about these people. Maybe you don't, but if you care at all about them,
After about 3 or 4 levels, like, why were we doing this? Oh, they were supposed to save those idiots.
right?
And then I guess by that time you're high enough level, those are going to become your. If your ship is big enough, eventually, those are going to be your crew.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
you saved us. It's like maybe they're unintelligent, but after they get their intelligence back, they remember the life as an animal.
Mm.
Maybe for some of it's humbling, some of them can't handle it. Maybe they have some issues.
Yep.
Dude, man, she almost ate me 3 times.
Yep. Uh, do these quests.
So if you want to make it multiple reasons for her to come back,
Yeah.
you almost have to portray her as this like almost an otherworldly supernatural creature on this island. At second level, she almost is, but
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
them.
Like she certainly is, and I was thinking that, like, again, she has to be visibly powerful. One thing I know we talk about, does she have servants or not, or are there other people around? If she had like, she doesn't have actual charm magic, but you could always just hand wave and say she had like a love potion or something that she did. You could have like,
maybe she has one long-haired
of
elven
course,
assistant.
of
that
course,
works
a
for her.
long-haired assistant.
It's no, it'd be or maybe it's just the elven fisherman that happens to be here.
He's visiting. Maybe.
Or he just here. I
don't want to drop him on so early.
Not too soon. Not too soon, right?
Exactly. I want him to be somewhere.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I definitely think maybe if she has like a very visibly brainwashed kind of person with her, maybe someone like you said, like
somebody they can confide to, or maybe he confides to them and everything. It's like to clarify what she actually says. No, she's not evil. She's not doing this on purpose. It's what she does. She changes them to animals. That's it. Just that's she doesn't know any other. This one person could just he could be the rational person now that tries to explain that she's just so flighty and so far above them and just doesn't understand that they're just they just want their people back. She doesn't understand why. It's like, no, they're mine now. And he's like, no, she's captured him. It's like, you have to do. He can say, like, if they're not figuring out a thing, it's like, look, she'll trade for them. She needs supplies. There's always something she needs. If you can find out there's something, maybe you don't even know what it is yet. You find something that might be useful to her, then she would she could trade them back. Doesn't mean if he knows, he could just be the voice of reason here and everything. Then why would he not be changed?
Well, I was thinking if he's talking like that, it doesn't really work. But I was thinking, like you said before, if he could be turned into an animal and then brought back, but still be like feeble-minded, then like he could be like almost a brainwashed servant who has like animal intelligence. Mm-hmm. But then he can't really be the person you just described.
Right. Well, it could be maybe he's just during the daytime I'm a human, but during nighttime I'm an animal.
Oh yeah.
Could be something to that nature that's like, no, I am an animal. Just during the daytime she needed me. She uses me during the daytime and she allows me to come back as in my human form. But during the night I am one of the animals. Maybe he can explain. It's like, I remember what happens, but I I can't control myself. I can see things happening around me, but I have no I have no free will. I can't do what I want to do. I'm an animal. I follow my animal instincts. I need to eat and sleep and drink, and that's all I do.
Yeah,
But
that's not a bad idea. Like an
during the
animal that she
daytime,
keeps around.
or
Yeah.
each day it's a different person.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, maybe it's not always the same. The next day they come in, it's a woman. Maybe instead she's, oh no, I'm one of the servants, but she needed me today to help make the food.
And
And
they
so
never see any other servants except for like the one for that
one
day.
servant that
Yeah.
day, it's like, no, I
Yeah.
made the food. I am making the food today. I make certain foods that she enjoys. And so today she needed me to cook.
And we could also have
It's
some
like, well,
animals in this little like menagerie place in the middle. Like there could be birds in the trees and like small cats and stuff like that. So like there's just a bunch of domesticated animals in the
mhm.
villa, and she just like takes one to the office and gives it a drink, and it becomes the servant for the day.
It's
Yeah. And the people know enough not to like basically when it's their turn to go back to the animal, they're not going to resist.
It's only, or they know it's only going to last. And once my time is up, I will return back to an animal. It only lasts 12 hours.
Well, that's true.
I'm only a human for 12 hours. At the end of my 12 hours, I change back to an animal again. And maybe each person cooks something differently. Like, oh, this is my favorite pasta cook, and this is my favorite steak cook, and this is my favorite vegetarian cook. And each one has a specialty. And it's like, oh, I want vegetarian today. All right, come here, bird. You get to be vegetarian cook today.
Yeah, and that's interesting too. The timed like antidote kind of thing. Like the goblins could watch somebody turn back or catch somebody turn back. Like one of the servants just becomes a bird or something.
Or they happen to wake up at the right time and see her giving them a potion later on at some point. They see, oh, that animal is drinking put a potion up for that animal, and she makes sure no other animals, it's like shoos them away. It's like, no, just this one.
And this koi fish over here, she could make one of those.
Yeah, it could be the fish. It could be one of the people.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff. I like it. I definitely like where this is going.
Or maybe the koi fish are the servants, and she just happens to dump the potion into the water around one of them. And the person just steps out.
It'd be cool, especially if they were like an aquatic-based person. If they were like a gill man or something weird like that, that'd be funny.
Yeah. Do the animals, like you said, Ophelius is going to be a panther, so each different person would be a type of animal.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was trying to figure out like, oh, maybe based on.
So maybe the dwarf would be like the biggest boar they've seen. It's
exactly. Like, yeah, I want like
very stocky.
Kind of like what you were saying before, like the problems in the town that they're going to have to deal with. Maybe the dwarves are being gluttonous, and the dwarves turn into pigs when they come to this island and stuff like that. So it's like they interact with the dwarves, and they have to do something about like stop eating all their food, or like don't take all the meat. Like let the elves have some of the meat or whatever. And then later they come
stop taking the best parts and leaving all the fatty parts for us, or the skin. Have the local have to eat skin or intestines or something. That you take all the prime cuts and everything.
Exactly. So we play that up, and then another session later, all of a sudden, all the dwarves are pigs.
All right. Let's make a rough guess at what other races would be. Yeah, just throw it out there, see what we got.
Dwarves, pigs.
I like dwarves and pigs. That one really works.
Gluttonous.
That gives you the reason for your pig, yeah. Half orcs would be a large animal. Maybe a rhino type thing, or a non-violent rhino, or
a non-violent, very calm rhino, very calm hippopotamus.
A very calm rhino. Yeah, none of the animals be violent regardless, unless let's try to catch, in which case they just run. They never attack.
Yeah.
Would be a half orc, something big and something burly. Elephant seems too big. Halflings, like sloths.
Poor halflings. Why?
They're the pot smokers of the world, aren't they?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings has ruined us on that one
lore,
too.
Yeah.
Token lore, so it's like your halfling's got to be. Gnomes could definitely be like parrots. They got the wild colors, the hairs. They always want the different colors.
That's a good one. Gnomes are always with burrowing animals for whatever reason. I think they get like always in Pathfinder 1, they can like talk to burrowing animals.
That could be the whole thing. Parrot could be maybe some are burrowing animals, but they have the colorful hair, like they got a mohawk of blue or a mohawk of purple on them. Badgers and
Yeah, but
Ferrets.
yeah,
They'll be small ferrets and weasels, but they'll have a different color stripe that some of the other gnomes
exactly.
hair. All
Yeah,
the gnomes have crazy hair.
yep, and they'll be reminiscent of gnomes they've seen. I like
Okay,
that. That's good.
back to the halflings. Halflings
Back
are
to the
pretty
halflings.
docile. Cats.
Could be cats.
They seem usually pretty docile. They're pretty
Yeah,
relaxed.
yeah, stealthy.
Maybe raccoons. Rogues are halflings are a lot of thieves.
Oh, that's a.
Am
That's,
I typecasting?
I think you are. Yeah.
Have I told you my story about World of Warcraft Online?
No. What?
Me and my cousin decided we were going to play a couple um, Argonians, a couple of the lizard folk.
Oh yeah.
And so we were playing around and we kicked the chest at the beginning of the game. So what'd you get? Lockpicks. What do you get? Lockpicks. We'd already decided we were going to play a fighter and a cleric. And so kicked the next chest. What'd you get? Lockpicks. What'd you get? More lockpicks. I went through the game with the other characters. I could never get enough lockpicks. I never got lockpicks. I play a couple of Argonians and all they would give me is lockpicks. I felt like I was being typecast.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a
That's
minute.
little racist.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to play like I'm playing we're gonna play like a paladin and a cleric. We're gonna be like these really good people. What'd you get? Lockpicks.
Lockpicks.
Thanks.
Well,
It's like,
okay.
wait a minute. This game feels just a little racist right
Little
now.
bit.
I'm not feeling it.
Uh,
So yeah. So halflings, maybe raccoons, or if you want, maybe maybe they could be little ferrets or weasels and all little things that get in the tight little places, wiggle around.
I will take that.
Or mice, rats.
I am getting text from my wife that she needs help with my daughter, so I think we're gonna have to cut
Okay.
this early tonight.
That's all good. We're just coming up with ideas.
Yeah, it was really thanks.
Another time.
I like a lot of things that you've done. I definitely the biggest thing I think you've done is the way you helped chain the guerrilla leader, because I was going to have an interrogation scene and that would have just spiraled out of control.
That could easily be 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum.
This is definitely a way to go. I'll stew on the mayor being near the temple. But everything else is really awesome, and I really got to come up with a scar for you, and I got to figure out exactly how he's burned. I want it to be like his face or his arm, especially because he's a big toothy thing. He's biting a lot of things. So yeah, I have to go. I'm getting texts. So yeah, thanks again for coming out.
Yep.
Sorry to cut it early, but I'll talk to you later.
That's fine.
Have a good one.